Welcome back to Two Daddies Judging Baddies.
Judging baddies.
Where we read internet stories, and then we judge people
Profusely.
So, this is going to be a bit of an intro. This is going to be a long intro.
It's not an intro. It's a Mike personal story.
Right, it's a Mike personal story. Well, I always count anything before the first story an intro.
Well, you could just be like, am I the asshole for?
Right. So if you want to just skip straight ahead to the first story, it's in the timestamps. But we're going to talk about my weekend because it was a clusterfuck. We're going to start with Thursday. So Thursday, me and Dylan were recording podcasts.
Dylan
and myself. We're recording podcasts, and everything was going smoothly. And then I get home, and I'm like, you know what? I fancy a pee right now. Something had felt off, though, because I was
like a little green pee, like going to urinate in the bathroom.
Yeah, going to urinate in the bathroom. Something felt off at the studio where, like, the tip of my penis was hurting. And I look, TMI, not safe for work.
Was I making you just feel a little tingly?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was just making you a little tingly.
I thought it was just Dylan's magical charm. That I was like, oh, man, my penis can't handle all this. So I needed to go home to, just really take it out on my meat.
Not safe for work.
Right, yeah, not safe for work. Not safe for work. So I get home, and I go to the bathroom to pee, and blood. It's all blood. And I don't know if you've ever peed blood, dear valued listener. Terrifying. Immediately, like any guy, if they're like, oh, something's wrong with my dick, they're like, we got to go. I didn't freak out or anything like that. I was pretty calm. But I have had a kidney stone before. The first kidney stone I ever had, I did not pee blood. So I did not know that this was one of the symptoms of having a kidney stone. 2 days before, I thought I was passing a kidney stone because it felt like this from the same spot. And I was like, maybe that was like a muscle spasm or something because it ended pretty quickly. So Dylan drives me to the hospital. My wife is in an IED meeting, IEP meeting with, they're not planting devices to blow up tanks or anything like that, but they were in an IEP meeting for my autistic son to see what he would get in future classes and stuff. So that takes a long time. So I was like, hey, I texted her. I was like, hey, I really, really need you home right now.
Well, you called me and you're like, hey, man, just pissed. Or you're like, we can't get any better. I just pissed a bunch of blood. I was like, do you need me to take you to the hospital? He's like, no, Amy's going to be home in any minute now.
I was not rattled. I was keeping my shit together pretty well until you went, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, what? Is it bad? Is it that bad? I think the worst thing, though, is I Googled it, and it was like, well, here's 6 reasons why you could pee blood.
Top one was bladder cancer.
Yeah. 5 of them means you're going to have a long battle with something. And I was just like, oh, okay. So kidney stones, you do pee blood, and that's what I was very hopeful on, and that's what it turned out to be. But I texted my wife, and I was like, hey, I really, really need you home right now. And she sent me I told you, like, this meeting was going to be a long time and blah, 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 blah. Why do you even need me home? I was like, I'm peeing blood. And she was like, oh, my God, what's wrong? She was like, no, you're not. And then I sent her a picture of my pee, and then that's when she was very worried about it. But still, she's locked in a meeting where she can't leave. Out of all the Google things, the scariest one, though, was kidney failure. And I was like, I really hope it's not that one. So I guess I should, just go get checked out. Got checked out. It was a kidney stone. Now, the doctor, at this point, I am in pain. That's the best pain I ever felt, though, because it's not kidney failure. If you start to feel a whole bunch of pain, it's not kidney failure. Kidney failure, you just go. You die. But then I was like, it's a kidney stone. Before I even got the results or anything like that, I knew it was a kidney stone because that terrible, terrible pain came. And the doctor was like, she comes in, she tells me everything, and I was like, okay, I just want to go home and get a nice hot bath, pee this thing out. And she was like, because I'm at this point, I'm writhing, it hurts like a motherfucker. And she's like, I can give you pain meds right now and then prescribe you pain medication. I was like, nope, I'm just going to go home, take a hot bath, and pee this out. And I had to sit there. It felt like the episode of Scrubs where the patient made the doctor feel better about her dying. I had to sit there and make this doctor feel okay with sending me home with nothing. I was like, nah, I just want to do it. The real reason I did that, though, is because now anytime someone's just like, man, you know how painful kidney stones are? I'm like, yeah, I passed one without pain medication. Because that is like the closest you can get to that SpongeBob episode where he's like, I eat nails for breakfast. And SpongeBob's like, or the guy's like, okay. And he's like, without any milk. And the guy's like, oh, go ahead and get inside. So that's why I wanted to do that. Now, we fast forward to Friday. Friday, you know, I'm getting over the whole kidney stone thing. I passed it around like 3 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. Me and Dylan didn't do any work for that day.
I was trying to get Mike to go ahead and save the kidney stones so that he could then put it out there and you guys could possibly, you know, pick that up on the secondary market.
I don't know if it's passed from my bladder yet. It could have done it while I was pooping because I'm not going to pay attention to my pee while I poop. And also, I'm not that into collecting the kidney stone.
Well, actually, I think I first said that you need to just put it in a jar and we'll name it and you could like set it on your desk as a souvenir and you can just keep adding to your family as you go along.
When it passes, it goes into the bladder. So that's what I mean by pass. It went into the bladder. I don't know if I've even peed it out yet. That's how you know someone's lying about a kidney stone. If they talk about how painful it feels going through their penis, that's the best feeling ever because it's now out of that little tiny little vein that connects from your kidney to your bladder. But so we're on Friday, and I had promised some friends that I got to play Magic with them. Now, before I go to play Magic, my wife tells me, hey, Alithia hurt her ankle at school. She called me and said that she's going to be able to go through the day. And I was just like, okay. I knew she had been dealing with an arm injury from us playing football. We had threw the football 2 days in a row. If she does that, and I try to warn her every time that it hurts her shoulder, every time she tries to do it. But she hurt her arm, and that was like an ongoing thing for like 2 days. And I knew she wanted to go to the doctor about it. And I was like, hey, maybe if you quit playing football so much, you'll feel better. And on that day, on Friday, she was good, but Amy says she wanted to go to the doctor. I assumed still that was because of her shoulder. So I go and play Magic together with my friends. I come home at like 10 o'clock at night. And I go up into Lithy's room, and she's laying on the bed, and her ankle's wrapped up. And I was like, God, girl, how bad you hurt your ankle? I sit there and unwrap it, and she has a softball connected to her foot that is purple. I immediately tell them, because my wife was like, oh, she has a urgent care appointment in the morning. She's talking about how bad it hurts. I was like, oh, well, we're going to go now. We're just going to go. I'm going to go to the ER, get you checked out, make sure ain't nothing wrong. Come to find out, her ankle was broken. She had broke her ankle at school. Now,
I've been walking on it.
Here's the thing, though. So what happened was every Friday is Pizza Friday, and Amy forgot to put in their order for pizza, so she ordered a pizza to be sent to the school because you got to order it online. It's the dumbest thing ever. And then submissions close on Thursday. Amy forgot to do it. You know, she's doing market right
Everybody
now.
wants pizza on Friday. Just
right.
Get pizza.
Right. So we have a friend of ours bring in the pizza. Alithia is, you know, playing around. She's got her friends there. She jumps up to get it, and that's when she does the whole ankle thing. So she's sitting on the ground crying, and her teacher, one of her friends runs up to the teacher and says, hey, Alithia's crying. She needs an ice pack. The teacher goes, well, if she needs an ice pack, she could walk up here and tell me she needs an ice pack. So they're having a whole meeting about that. Another one of our friends who happens to be a teacher, he was sitting there at the meeting. He didn't have the full context of it, but like another family friend really gave him a, shit storm about that, which a whole shit storm's happening at the school today because of this, because there was multiple things said while my daughter's on the floor with a broken ankle, and this teacher's just like, walk it off. You walk to go get an ice pack. You can walk up to the office. And then she had berated my daughter so much that she wanted to go home, but she didn't want the teacher to talk shit to her about going home. So I can't go up to that school because Amy was like, she was like, Michael can't come to the meeting, and because he's really calm about this. So when I get really calm, once we get into that meeting, that's where I'll let all my anger out at, and I'll probably headbutt that teacher in the fucking face. Like, I will lose my goddamn shit. So Amy's going up there to face that battle alone. So that was Friday. Saturday, my mom goes to the hospital. No, this was on Friday. She went to the hospital on Friday too. Yeah, this was on Friday. Fuck Friday.
You went to the, or
I went to the hospital to visit her. Yeah, on Friday.
Before you went to go play cards. I was wondering if you were just glossing over that and not including that as part of it.
Because it all blends together because we went to see her on
Saturday as well.
Yeah. So on Friday, my mom, she's terrified of hospitals, won't step inside of a hospital. No matter who's dying, what's happening, she just hates them. My brother calls and says, hey, I'm taking Mom to the hospital. I'm like, fuck. Well, it has to be fucking terrible. So we go up there. This is a whole story in and of itself, too. So a year ago, she had to go to the hospital for diverticulitis. And, well, she went to High Point Hospital.
I don't know what that is.
So diverticulitis is an infection in your intestines. So they treated her for the diverticulitis at High Point Hospital and then refused to tell her that she had a blockage in her colon.
Nice.
Because at that point, it was only partial. So now it's complete. It's completely impacted. So they're going to have to remove some of her intestines. But also, a year ago, they found a mass in her colon. That is, she's 59 years old. So it heavily points towards cancer that they now have to check out today. They have to make sure it's not cancer. And if it is cancer, then they have to see where everything's spread before they can remove the part of the small intestines. And it was just it was a very trying weekend where I thought I could really milk the whole kidney stone thing. Everybody else was just like,
nah, hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my beer. Hold my beer, because we're about to go into a lot more deeper shit than that.
Gotta love American healthcare, though.
Oh, yeah, because
she found out as soon as she possibly could.
Now, I think another funny thing, too, is we got in so much trouble at the hospital, me and my daughter, because we were doing, I sent you some of them, but if you take panoramic shots and then you skirt your camera back real quick, it creates some of the funniest pictures ever. And I sent one of Dylan. Lithy's laying in the hospital bed. It gives her a small arm that's on her chest, and then her tongue sticking out. And she looks like a very disabled child. And we're sitting there, we're dying about the picture. And then I was like, the side effects they don't tell you of the COVID-19 shot. And then she started fucking dying on there. And this one male
just
nurse.
call it the jab.
Yeah.
Just the jab.
This one male nurse just comes up to us and he's like, puts his finger over his mouth.
Oh, it was kind of late at night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. At this point, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Because we were there for 3.5 hours.
So you can't blame nurse guy for being like, hey, shut the fuck up. Other people are like, needing some rest.
Everybody felt so bad about the whole ankle injury, like everybody who had dealt with her that day. And then, we get home and I wake Amy up and I tell her it's a break and everything and help, Lithy to her room because she had a big adjustment period with the crutches. And she was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And she looks up at me and she was like, I promise I didn't know. And I was like, it's okay, I just got that dad intuition. I just knew that something was up because I love her so much more than everybody else. But, my mom's in high spirits, which, I think she could be told tomorrow, like, you have stage 4 cancer and you are going to die. She's just like, whatever.
All
right. I've made my peace. And of course, everything that happened with Lithy is fucked, but she is a 12-year-old girl with a cast on her leg that is about to get all the sympathy in the world. Mom told her today, she was like, when you get to school, milk it, milk everything. Like every time you move, because that's her teacher. Every time you move, just be like, it hurts so bad. Oh, God, so broken. Because, what a dick thing for a teacher to do. But that was my weekend. So I guess we can finally get into the first story. What do you think?
Yeah, fuck Dylan's weekend.
No, fuck yeah. Let's talk about Dylan's weekend.
No, I'm good.
No, they already have the timestamp. We can get into Dylan's weekend.
So Saturday, I forgot to tell Mike. Not that he would have had the time to do it anyways, but there's a friend of ours that has a house that was his grandparents, and so we bought this new kick-ass lens for our camera that we're gonna shoot the short films and stuff on, and I've been dying to try it out, and I keep trying to talk to Mike. I'm like, we just have to make the littlest thing possible, just the tiniest little thing, so that we can say that we've made something with it.
The smallest thing ever only cost $5 billion.
And so I was trying to get something filmed, but so our friend, he's got this house that his grandparents passed away. One of the sweetest stories. I don't know the actual story, but he's like, they died within weeks of each other. I was like, if you're gonna go as an old couple, that's the perfect way to go. Nobody's lasting, decade after their,
If my wife goes before me, I will, because I'm gonna do heroin.
Yeah, just boot it up and.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, kids, you're on your own now.
I'm gonna try to live as long as I can while doing heroin though. So
yeah, but so he's got this house and he's like kind of looking after it, like just to make sure that nobody's gonna go mess with this empty house. So he's gonna stay there for a while, and so we ended up filming like just little tiny views of the house, nothing like scenes or anything, but just like looking down the hallway, and the hallway's got like this old ass fucking wallpaper on it. So that was like the first shot, and then I went and looked back down the hallway the other way, and our friend was walking through the hall, and so I've got all these pieces put together. The coolest one though was we were looking down in the basement, and then he flicked the light on, and then flicked it off, and then flicked it back on, and I think he was meaning to just turn it on, but I ended up laying like all this creepy music underneath it. And
I thought he was trying to jump scare me with that too.
So I sent it over to Mike, and yeah, it's a beautiful place for us to film something. So hopefully we're inspired to get something knocked out. So that was my Saturday. And then Sunday I spent the whole day gathering supplies so my wife could make a 8-foot tall Elvis poster. Elvis is going to be in town. Like all the Elvis impersonators are coming to Lexington this weekend. And so my mother-in-law did up her window with we'll have to walk up there so you can see it.
Do you think when God's designing people, like he's just like, and you will be an Elvis impersonator? Oh,
dude, it's crazy because like they live it the whole year.
Yeah,
like,
what a life to choose. That's what I'm saying.
They keep the chops, they keep the hair. Like it's not something that, like, I mean, with my mohawk, like I've thought about, you know, if we were to do some sort of movie and I have to cut my mohawk off, like I'm without a mohawk again for months until it actually like grows back out again. So. Just thinking to be an Elvis impersonator, you have to just live the whole entire life.
Imagine going to Thanksgiving dinner, you're just dressed as Elvis. It's like, Douglas, please, for one day, just be Douglas. Don't be Elvis.
Wearing the rhinestones.
Yeah,
and
I can't, Mama. Oh, you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I can't help I was born this way.
Yeah, I can't help I was born to be the king. Born to be an impersonator of the king. But you got to live it. So, all right, let's get into the first story.
Burn them bound down. Two daddies. Judging baddies.
All right, let's redo that intro now. Let's go ahead and start back over. You tell all those stories again.
Oh, yeah. Let's go 20 minutes back into it. All right, so this first one was excited for spring break, only to realize my kids were off too.
Ah, shit.
I feel like a terrible father and a selfish asshole at the same time. My sister is flying in this week. I took leave from work to spend time with her, who I haven't seen in years. I had zero fucking idea that my kids, elementary school, were off the same week for spring break. That's crazy to have a kid that's in elementary school. Must have tore that wife up to give birth to that.
What do you mean?
Huh? Oh, because it says,
the whole
I had no idea that my kids, elementary school. Maybe that's the kid's name, is elementary school.
Or no, it's elementary, and then there's another one.
Yeah, it's elementary and school.
Yeah.
So I, elementary, 15 female.
And my sister, school, 16 female.
Got into an altercation this week. Am I the asshole for stabbing her in the gut with a nail file?
You forgot it was rusty. It was a rusty nail file.
That's the icing on the cake, is to add the tetanus to it. It literally never once occurred to me legitimately. And now I'm feeling absolutely gutted, both at the guilt, but also the realization that they're going to be home the entire time. They're both autistic, and I cannot emphasize how infuriatingly exhausting they are. Fridays are the worst days of the week for me because it means I don't have to work the next 2 days, and now Monday is 10 days away. Just fucking go get some milk, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you hate being a dad that much, just go get some fucking milk.
Well, and why aren't you, like, all of that screams that you don't show up for your wife in any way, shape, or form. Like, she just takes care of it all, and you are on autopilot, like, never having to deal with anything.
Right. You're just sitting there, and it's just like, man, this dude is, these kids are terrible. And my wife, she's just so exhausted taking care of these kids. And I wish there was somebody to help her. You motherfucker. Like, I love, give me my autistic babies. Yeah. Like, let them be at home with me all the time. I'll be happy. Yeah, I ain't got to go to school. I mean, at the first sign, like, if I didn't have to work and one of my kids was just like, I'm just kind of having a blah day. Well, fucking don't go to school.
Yeah.
It literally means nothing. I mean, the way the school system is set up now, it literally means nothing.
Well, until you start getting the warnings that your kid's going to get you in
oh, yeah,
trouble
we're
with
going
the
to
law.
arrest you if you don't
get your kid in
Yeah,
school.
yeah, we got to make them good warehouse workers for when they get older.
We've done that. We've received that letter like twice with our oldest.
Yeah, last year I probably received that letter like 16 times with both of mine. Because if they were just like, I ain't feeling it today, I'm like, okay, what are you gonna miss out on that? You know, it's not a job where you have like responsibilities and then people are, working harder because you're missing days or anything like that.
I really think it should be tied to your performance. Like,
Right, if you're a straight A fucking student, dude, come in twice a week as long as you can show that you're smart and you get it.
Yeah, like if you're failing all your classes, then you have issues with attendance. But if you are doing great in school and your attendance is lacking, like that shouldn't be a criteria for you be getting in
That's
trouble.
a genius idea, though, because that would be, I mean, we would have a bunch of smart kids who focused on
Incentivized.
studying. Yeah, because they were like, I don't want to go to school.
Yeah.
I'm just going to study my ass off. So,
I go on Mondays and sometimes Fridays.
yeah, sometimes Fridays. Yeah, but I get, straight A's. It's, I don't ever have to be there. And then, God, could you imagine the school days, though? Because it's just all the fucked kids. All the fucking knuckle dragging.
Although they might get a better education because all the rest of the kids aren't bored and distracting everybody. So
Right, yeah.
it might be beneficial for everybody all around.
And it's just all the bullies and the fucking big frontal lobe kids there, and they have no one to pick on.
The kids that actually like school because it's better than home.
Right, yeah. And they just, turn around and become good children. Look at that, Dylan. That right there, I think that you would solve just America's a bunch of retards right now, man. We're dumb. We are not, compared to all the other countries and the citizens they produce, we are fucking stupid.
Well, because they have more of that. It is like a self-guided, like there's not a ton of homework and they're not, forced to sit at their desk. Like there's a ton of like science behind just setting a kid behind a desk and making them sit still is like the worst education you can possibly provide to a kid. And other countries have better systems for it. And it includes like things like the arts and playing, gym class. Like the first couple hours of the day should just be the kids just socializing and playing. But that's not how it is. It's like come in, get to work.
I'd seen a video of a school overseas, somewhere in Europe. But what they did was they had, because Europe is a whole bunch of little countries, and it's kind of like, 50 states. If I pointed at a map and told, 9 out of 10 people would not be able to point out every state. So what they did was they had the forest behind the school mapped out like the countries were, and they'd walk to each one and talk about them. They had like plaques set up, and every kid could point out what country was in Europe just by doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, we are. And then they're like, just cut off funding for that. They're already dumb. They're already dumb. You cut out all funding and hand them a Bible.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way to do it.
That's how you do it.
And then tell them that if they have premarital sex, they're going to burn in hell.
Well, they're still going to do that. You don't burn in hell for that, okay? That's a one we ignore. Premarital sex is an ignore sin, okay? It's like eating shrimp and all that other shit. Those are ignore sins. Gay, that we focus on that one.
That one's a hellfire.
I think that's the only one we focus on. I'm pretty sure. Like you could do literally every other thing in the Bible, sure.
Murder.
Rape. You can have sex with children. They're just going to overlook that. They're not even going to talk about that. That one don't exist. La, 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 la.
They
does
have
not.
accepted Jesus. They are now forgiven.
Right, yeah. You have accepted Jesus. You are now forgiven. Gay people can't do that. That's just like, that's the one sin we're really going to hone in on. That's the one sin that Jesus, who accepted everybody, that's the one sin he just can't. Like, imagine Jesus sitting down and then, he sees somebody.
You're gay? Ew.
The little shirt tucked in and their belly showing. He's like, about to give a testimony. He's like, whoa, you.
Out of here.
Out of here. Yeah. Somebody throw rocks at that guy.
Damnation.
Yeah, let's stone him through the streets. That's what Jesus said. It's in the Bible.
So that one that Mike just read was actually the first test. I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I made the craziest fucking snack in the world. I wanted peanut butter and honey, and I was just going to like mix it together in a bowl and then just eat it while I was surfing on the internet for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
anybody watching the podcast saw how funny that was.
Yeah, except for you're talking all the time, so it's never on me. But so I ended up making peanut butter mixed with jelly, mixed with a little bit of chocolate syrup, Shouldn't add to the chocolate syrup. It did not make it better.
That's what made you have that dream.
Yeah. What, of me yelling at you this
Yeah.
morning? Yeah. But in the process of that, I was just kind of scrolling through the MADHD Reddit, and I realized that somebody had Book Nerd Goddess said, I got a question, Mike. Hey, Mike, do you know how to set up the auto mods for the sub that will save the post just in case the original gets deleted? Subreddit Am I the Devil has it set up that way, and I think it would be cool to enable it on this sub, so if a story we post gets deleted, it will still be available for you guys to read. Attaching a screenshot for reference. And then Mike said pretty much what the Fat Thundercat says. You know that's more of a Dylan question, right?
Yeah, I was like, why didn't they just address you? Hey, Dylan. This technical stuff right here.
Yeah. And then Book Nerd Goddess figured that since Mike is on Reddit more often, then he might know about it more than I would. But
not a mod, just a troll.
But yeah, I ended up I had to enlist the forces of Claude to get it done because I found the code and it was no problem. But every time I tried to save it, it's like media not supported. Some just random error message like 15 times.
Do you want to see the funniest thing? Because we talk about using AI for workflow and stuff like that. Right now, North Carolina is in a record drought. Right. So I was looking up stuff about the drought. You see that map right there? I'm showing Dylan a map of North Carolina's drought. I'm now going to show you a map of the data centers in North Carolina. So all them red spots is where the data centers are. Data centers use 300,000 gallons of water a day. There's 92 in North Carolina. So they're using 27 million gallons of water a day. And they're like, hey, don't run your sink for more than 20 seconds. Look, fuck you. Don't run the data centers.
Yeah. The craziest thing is that nobody is paying attention when it comes to not putting them in. Like, people are vehemently opposed to it, and they are literally coming to the town council meetings, and they're going and showing their support for not putting those things in. And no matter where it's at, no matter what council they have, it's just like, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, we got paid so much money.
It's coming.
Fuck you. And honestly, I mean, I think that, we have enough money that we are just going to kill you and your family. Well, I mean, you're going to kill
yourself.
You and your family.
Murder suicide.
Yeah, you were just so distraught about, I don't know, being secretly gay that we're gonna stage that.
You're gonna shoot yourself in the back of the head 3 times.
Because I made a post about it, and then I was just like, I don't want to die. Nobody's gonna listen, and I don't want to die. So,
but it's just wild because I've never seen such, and that's the thing that if people could just stop and realize, like, the power, ultimately, it's so easy to overcome because it's just a small town, and so, like, who's really going to do anything about it? Like, there's nothing that's going to be done. But, like, that's the problem with America as a whole right now, is that it didn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat, independent, fucking anarchist, libertarian, all those people all agree, hey, we don't want a fucking data center here. And the same thing goes for the majority of things that people want for this country. And it's just like, no, stay divided because of the gay people and the, whatever else. Just the stupid things that people can disagree on that aren't really.
Which I think the funniest thing was, Elon teamed up with Trump, got a bunch of data centers put in. The biggest one being the one that's destroying Tennessee.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Or right outside of Memphis.
It's in Memphis. It's just in the poor part of Memphis. So it's not really Memphis. It's in the black part of Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares about that. Fuck it, It's already destroyed. Like, come on, guys.
They've been dealing with this type of treatment for centuries.
The government's
so
we destroyed that 50 years ago. Like, come on, we could throw a data center there.
That's where we put all of our industrial waste at.
But then after he did all the data centers, he's just like, all right, deuces. And then they got into the big argument. But yeah, he just did that literally so he can get his big data centers put in. And
there's a really cool guy on YouTube that he's done a bunch of investigations on like the sound levels. It's like imperceivable to the human ear because you can't hear it, but it's like I can't remember the name that he put on it, but like it's noise that is so loud, but you can't hear it with your ears, but it can like physically make you sick, and it can make you like, yes. And I'll look him up, and you can.
Was it CoffeeZilla?
No,
Oh.
it's. I guess he used to make like techno music, and so he's got like a lot of synthesizers and stuff. But then he just started going on this whole like, he's the one that talks about the flock cameras and the surveillance systems and like all these things that are just like kind of dystopian future. And he goes so deep. I mean, he's got like, I want to say like thousands and thousands of Patreon, like hundreds of thousands of Patreon members. And
That's what we need.
so
We need
he spends like all this time, money, and effort on like doing like these huge investigations on things.
guys, we need hundreds of thousands of patrons. God, what a day of rejoicing that'll be. Well, let's get into the next story. And are you looking him up?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, I'll start the next one. Am I the asshole for ignoring my wife for throwing away my weight? Fuck me. I'm going to redo that I cut these up and put them on socials now. Am I the asshole for ignoring my wife for throwing away my late wife's videotapes?
Yeah, I mean, well, what kind is it?
Get over her, dude. Oh, yeah. What are they, like family gatherings or
like sexy time?
Yeah. Well, she could actually she actually stayed doing the thing where you're on top, but you like kind of get on your feet and crouch down. She could do that hours.
Slam it.
And I could just slam it. And you did that before we got married and then just cut that out immediately.
Ow, my back hurts. My legs hurt.
Right. Oh, yeah. This is terrible for my knees. I feel like we've done this one also.
No, we have not.
We have not?
No.
I'm writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife, and her name is Eleanor. God, was she 90? Like, what?
The oldest daughter.
Eleanor. Okay.
Actually, I've met a couple Eleanors because there is the PBS show called Eleanor, and I don't know whether that like spurred some people.
Hipster trend too was like we got to give them all the old names.
Yeah. Ruth.
Yeah.
Barbara. No
Barbaras. I have not seen a baby Barbara. Barbara will forever be a 38-year-old woman working at a Waffle House. That's it. That's all they come in.
My name's Barbara. You can call me Barbie.
Yeah. That's not going to happen, Barb. Nobody's calling you Barbie. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks, and she's turning 18. Background, me and my late wife, Chloe. How does Chloe have the kind of like the present name? You know what I'm saying? The modern name. And the daughter has the little girl fighting typhoid name, Chloe has been dating since college. Background, me and my late wife, Chloe, has been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married. After our wedding, she shared news to me that she was pregnant, and I was excited. We were both expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. Wholesome things just as us joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise only to show Eleanor the tapes until her 18th birthday. We made a promise not to show Eleanor the tapes until her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. That's one thing. If you got a good family, somebody's dying because of a drunk driver. They only take out the most wholesome of people.
And they're going to make a Disney movie about it.
Right. It's never been like, oh, man, my weird Uncle Carl, who we had to change before he came over, he got killed by a drunk driver. It's always like, she was leaving the animal shelter where she just volunteered 18 hours to watch after some dogs. And she was coming here to, watch all the neighborhood kids and feed them popsicles and stuff like that. She was killed by a drunk driver. And also a little baby that was with her. Stop drinking and driving, people. God bless America. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car. She was coming home to our house. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression and having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. My friend tried to get me to go out again and start back dating, but every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her. The only reason I laughed during that was because I sped through that sentence, and then she was coming home to our house. I was like, that's stupid.
100% you could have ended the story here and just been like, she threw away the tapes. Asshole.
Right.
100%. Like, so
Disney villain.
Dead mom, tapes for daughter. Yeah, villain. Just
the
terrible.
movies with the evil stepmothers? Like,
Yes.
That's what this feels like. Years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday, and we instantly hit it off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she has 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. 2 years after we got married, now back to the present, Eleanor 18. Her birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was very excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression go from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, why can't you be like Chloe? Or Chloe was supposed to be my first love. But I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she could never be like her. Chloe was a model and then started working on her fashion career. And don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman. While Wendy, bit of a hefty girl, had 2 kids in college.
Did she really say that?
No, but I thought it was funny to throw in there. Had 2 kids in college and is not in the best shape. Her words, not mine. That he did put that in there. I love both women, how they are, and I never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she was, and she broke down crying. The next day after that incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay and that it's good she felt comfortable to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked me to see the tapes, where the tapes were, and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in a closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So this cunt finds them and then throws them, like,
Has no
idea that they, like, until you bring them up, and then has this sweet little moment and then turns straight villain.
Evil villain. The worst thing you could possibly do.
Because you probably already told her that you're going to give them to your daughter for her 18th birthday. 18 years she's been waiting to see these videotapes of her mom talking sweet to her. This is a murder-suicide. Or no, just a murder.
Yeah, just a murder,
Just
not
a
a suicide.
murder.
You ain't got to
No.
kill yourself. You still got a daughter.
Yeah.
I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box, and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped and asked her what she meant. She told me that I talk about her too much and I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start for me. I was fuming with anger because not only did she throw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument, and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom. It's a lesbian couple.
She's dead.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, like what are you doing?
I'm never going to speak your name, you fucking cunt.
Right, like what is that? It got to the point I started crying and I locked myself in the bathroom. Your words can't get to me in here. La 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 la. Like what are you doing in the bathroom, dude?
But she's like, like I threw him away so that you could get over her, and you are too concerned with her, and you just like go ahead and take her out and be like, I'm gonna fuck somebody else tonight.
Right tonight.
I forget your name now.
And it's so crazy too because I feel like there's some instances if it was like he choked his wife, and I'm like, fuck, for what? And it was like, well, she was sleeping with his brother on their kid's bed. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a chokeable offense. And then I saw a video of a streamer who spilt some drink on his keyboard, and his wife was like, I told you shouldn't have drinks around the computer, and he slapped her on stream, so fucking ruined his career. Which a bunch of fucking knuckle draggers followed him because this is how it should be.
This is a man.
And then Twitch is just like, nah, we're banning your account. And any account you ever make, we're gonna IP ban you. So probably get away with it at Kick. They don't give a fuck. All right, so it's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer. It just pisses. I talk about it, and then I'm just like, I fucking hate people. Like and that's the problem with being online though, because that story, those people that then go follow that guy is not indicative of people. Like you have to go out and then you meet people, and it's just a pleasant experience. If you just look on the internet for people,
yes.
Like I turn into the Joker. If I'm online, if I spend like a couple hours a day on a social media app, I'm so pessimistic about people. But then I just go out and I meet people. Maybe I should just stop.
So I made an app using Claude. Sorry, North Carolina Water.
Yeah. Thanks, Dylan.
But
I'm running my sink for only 19 seconds right now.
good, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing my part.
That gave me enough water to make my app.
Yep.
But my problem is like, and I know they've got the apps, but they all want like a subscription fee and all this stuff for this basic concept of like, I want apps to be blocked and for me to have to do something like mindful to like open those apps back up from their lock. And because I did it last night, and so now I've got to add more apps to the ones that I'm blocking because I'm finding the ones like I'm like, oh, I can get on Reddit, like, and so I'll do that without the card. But I made an app that blocks social media, like Netflix, all that stuff, and in order to view it past certain hours, I've got it set up on a schedule. But if I want to do it, then I've got to scan this NFC card, and the NFC cards are like $1, and so I've got it set up so that all those things are blocked. When
everybody's going to be asleep, and then you're going to be like, man, I fancy myself a little meat beating time, and then you're just going to have to use memory.
Oh God,
use your brain.
I can't.
I can't do that because I have such intrusive thoughts. I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, "Ooh, me and my wife," and then I just hear my grandma's voice. Hello. I'm like, "No, get out of here, Grandma." No,
that's only when I want to try to make it last longer. I'm trying to get this done quick.
Right? Yeah. It was like 2 weeks ago. My wife had convinced me to drink with her, and I don't know what it is about alcohol, but alcohol is just like, Mike, coming now. You just look at your wife, my wife. It's happening. I'm sorry. And I was like, in the process, she was like, "Oh, keep going." I'm like, keep going. Like, what? I'm at the finish line.
I thought
buddy.
we were both almost there.
And what is that one? It's like Boots and Cats or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I was doing that to like the rhythm that I was doing, and I was like singing in my head, and just like I had my eyes closed, trying to boots and thighs, or whatever it is. That's what I was doing in my brain to try to. It worked for about 30 more seconds.
That's if she can't get it done in 30 more seconds, that's
her
problem.
fault. Yeah, right. That's crazy that it's hard for you to finish because I finish it. I finish 100% of the time.
Well, especially because like sex gods here, like just sitting around this table. I don't know if the listener knows this, but like we are the most sought after sex gods ever to exist on
and
this
then we
planet.
get really bought into work, and like we don't think of anything sexual, and then it's the weekend and our wives want to touch us, and we're like, oh God, all of this stuff in our body, and it's just like, I got a minute and a half if you.
I got some more important shit to do.
Right, yeah. All right, it's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer, finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give to my daughter, because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day, and she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she is, but I really can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it, since Chloe died over 10 years ago. But I'm trying to ignore all them because they never had someone so close to them die. I'm working on finding these files, and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do, and I really need help.
No, you need to be punched in the face.
Right. It's just, I knew that this was not going to be handled correctly when he locked himself in the closet.
That's instant divorce. Like, you don't respect me and or my daughter. Like,
right. It's like the woman's thing to get locked in the bathroom, not you.
Yeah.
Like, she should divorce him immediately.
Exactly.
Like, that's the craziest thing, too, because I'm like, if I'm angry,
well, maybe,
I want everybody else locking themselves in bathrooms.
Maybe he did that. So it doesn't sound like it, but maybe he did that so that he wouldn't do something stupid. But I would be angry, yelling, probably like punching mirrors and stuff. It wouldn't be like I locked myself in the bathroom and I was crying to myself. Probably not.
Yeah,
like ripping the cabinet doors off and like fucking wrestling.
I hit it with the sink. Like, yeah, I'm just the locked door is there, so like while I'm trying to unlock it, I'd be like, all right, I'm not gonna hit her with the sink.
Yes.
And then I take a breath, and then I'm just like, back to the toilet thing. Yeah. I'm just grabbing new stuff to hit her with. And that's the thing too, is like, what friends do you have that listen to this story? They've probably been your friend for a minute. They know about your wife's passing away and everything like that, and how hard it was for you to be a single dad.
They should be asking you her schedule so they can just happen to run into her and have a quick little chat.
Sorry,
with her
I was drinking
somewhere.
and driving, and I ran into her car. And
two of them.
Yeah. They're like, well, that's murder. And I was like, nope, my lawyer's going to fight for manslaughter, and then I'm going to get 2 years of probation. So,
You know, the big thing with any of these, though, is the fact that somebody is childish enough not to have that conversation before they throw them out. Like, you're with the wrong person. It's one thing if she has an issue with it and she really does think that you need to get the fuck over it, blah, 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 blah.
like, if you're beating your meat to these videos.
But that's a conversation you have. And then you're like, hey, you really should get rid of them. And it should be a you getting rid of them thing, not a them just deciding for you to throw them out. Like,
There's no reason to throw anything away of your deceased wife, though. You know,
how are you jealous of a dead lady? Like, is she going to come back?
I mean, technically, you won in this argument anyways. Like, she died.
Yeah, she's gone.
It's that. Yeah, that's it.
Your only time that he's going to sleep with her is when they meet each other in heaven because she's a saint. What a fuck
story. Get us a better one, Dylan. Oh, did you find the investigator?
Yeah, so his name is Ben Jordan. The one that he posted 2 months ago, it's data centers behaving like acoustic weapons. And the thumbnail for it is data centers are making people sick. And so he goes around.
Is he like this in the thumbnail?
No, I'll show you the.
I'll show the viewer the video what his facial expression is in this thumbnail.
No, he's just like doing his little investigation thing. He's a pretty.
It's like this. It's like,
yeah, he's got like a
investigation
sensor to show, and then he's got his headphones on because it's like you literally have to speed it up to make it appear into the audible range because it's like you cannot hear it no matter young, old, anything like that.
But it's destroying your fucking earbuds all the same. Eardrums.
Oh, and everywhere. And it's not even just data centers. It's a lot of industrial things. And so the sound levels that are in these areas, because it's not in the audible range, like people don't know why like living certain places are making them feel like nauseous and sick and anxiety and different things like that. It's a cool thing.
It's so crazy too that, you know, people will hear that. They will do nothing about it, but they'll be like, hey man, there's these hippos. There's these hippos and they're starting to develop these hippo pimples, and they're really itchy for the hippo. Fuck that up. I think I just had a little stroke. It's really itchy for the hippos. So we have gathered $75 billion to cure this hippo pimple disease. Hippo and pimple is tough.
Hippo pimple. Yeah, so
hippo.
He did one on smart cameras 2 weeks ago. The data centers one was 2 months ago, and then DIY tech for anarchists was 3 months ago. And so that one was about mesh-tastic networks, where you can kind of set up your own little cell phone network where, like, if all of the towers go down, if enough people have this going on, then, like, in an emergency, me and you could still text each other because it jumps across all these nodes. And so even if they tried to like shut down communication or something happened where the towers went down, you could still talk to each other. But there's all kinds of cool stuff on his channel. I want to be a patron of his. He's got 1.13 million subscribers on YouTube.
Imagine that day. I am currently working on the Two Daddies Judging Baddies YouTube, so that'll be its own thing. And then if you ever just happen to stumble across the Mike and Dylan Hate Drama page, and you're like, where's Two Daddies Judging Baddies? Where's it at? It's on the Two Daddies Judging Baddies. That's all you got to do is search it up, and the videos will pop up. But Dylan will tell you, I've been working on that for the past couple of days, and there's definitely a couple more days of work to put into it. But I think I'm doing a good job. They each have their own thumbnails. I changed the titles to be more appealing, more of the, you know,
Clickbaity.
In line, not really clickbaity, but in line with how the other guys do it.
Clickbaity.
Morgan, come on our podcast. I mean, we have to go on hers, right?
Yeah.
If we got on to Two Hot Takes, that would be instant, I think. Like,
well, that would be it would be
like I would have horses in Greenland if we were able to get on her podcast.
No, you would then get to go to Greenland to ride some horses.
I messaged her, WME, all of them. Nothing. They don't.
Yeah, I don't think there's any benefit to them coming on our podcast. Not until we continue to grow, but it'll be a little.
Her on a thumbnail, I think, would do something. You don't think so?
Not at all. It's her audience. Like, I mean, that's the thing is, people go to Joe Rogan because of his audience. It's not like if Joe Rogan were to go on our podcast, like all of a sudden this would be, I mean, we would get a bump. There would be a bump, but it would not be the bump equal to us appearing on Joe Rogan's podcast, because Joe Rogan's is going to go out to however many millions of people. And so then now they know our name. If he comes over here, people would have to go look for Joe Rogan and then click on some random ass podcast and be like, I'm going to listen to this.
Joe Rogan he infuriates me so much.
Why?
Because he'll be like, all this stuff. He won't say that he does not support what's going on. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of people vote for Donald Trump. And I think, it's pretty cut and dry that everyday people, the people that are more like towards the center, people on the left already hated him. But the people in the middle, they're like, he's fucking doing a fuck shit job. Gas is everything's so expensive. We don't get paid attention to. So then, he starts talking about like, I didn't know any of this shit was going to happen. And what's happening with ICE is like an atrocity and everything like that. And then Donald Trump's like, well, I'll ease up some of the restrictions on LSD. And then he's just like, I want to be on stage with them, pretty much fucking giving this guy a hand job.
Oh, is that like a recent thing?
Mm-hmm. But last night I was watching the episodes of him and Forrest Galante, because how much I love how passionate Forrest Galante is about just animals and stuff like that. And I think it's so funny with him trying to dissuade a bear from eating his chickens, and Joe Rogan just keeps going, well, just shoot the bear. Shoot the bear and kill it. You shoot the bear to kill. And then Forrest was like, I'm thinking about like a paintball gun with some mace in it. And Joe Rogan's just like, just shoot the fucking bear. Just kill the bear.
And then eat it.
Yeah, because it's not going to. I mean, I agree with Joe Rogan in that situation. It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
Imagine just 500-pound dog. You got to get this 500-pound dog from stop eating your garbage, eating your chickens.
They deserve love too.
What?
The 500-pound dog.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. They're especially the like the residential bears now that have grown up in human cities, and they're like, we will provide no service for anything. We're just going to rip open your trash cans and eat your food. That's
a service.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I mean, it's not a good service.
It's not good service. Like if they could adapt to eating like glass and plastics, yeah, sure. And their poop turns it into, rich mulch, sure.
That's the wild thing, is the fungus is one of the biggest new things for eating plastic and stuff like that, and also using it for packaging so that you don't use as much plastic.
Funguses, man, they're aliens, dude.
It is weird.
I like to think that was alien life. Like funguses just came in on like a meteor or something like that, and it's its own intelligent life form.
Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest. It does feel very foreign, and that's the weird thing, is because when you think about life, you always think about animals, plants. That's it. And then you forget about there's a whole third fucking, and it really more prolific.
Almost more intelligent with like what it does. And we are like, humans are the only ones building civilizations. And it's like funguses are like, nah, we are too. They can mimic a brain. You know what I'm saying? They can get into an animal's brain and then completely stem out their brain and control that animal. That's just so fucking wild.
You climb high so I can send my spores far and wide.
Yeah, that's scary.
Thank you for adding that cool auto mod thing, because I just clicked on one of your guys' suggestions and it's removed. So if we had the auto mod going at that point in time, it would have just had the story.
It would have had the story right there, ready for us.
Thanks, Book Nerd Goddess, for kicking us in the ass to get that done.
You gonna get you a good one?
I'm trying to look, but there's so many memes and stuff posted in our thing.
If you just go to the save, there's we got like 15 in there.
I'll go over there. Okay. I'll go back over there because our other one, we'll have to figure out how to kind of, if y'all could quit posting just random ass memes in there, so much, like just.
Hey Mike, what superhero would you be? What superhero would you talk to? I love you, Ricky. What superhero? I'm just like, but like if y'all posted like a few more stories, these episodes would be bangers. Because I think, especially when it comes to like Steven, Book Nerd Goddess, like when people like that send in a story, it's always so fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the most, I know if I take a clip of that and I put it on Facebook, which just monetize the 2 Days Judging Baddies page, thank you, Facebook, that it'll do some numbers on there. So,
All right, so this one is titled, where's the title at? Okay. Am I blind or am I not seeing the...
is it in the subreddit?
Yeah. Son is detained at the airport and asked about his political beliefs. But I don't see, like, the actual fucking title.
Oh.
This is the title, but it's, like... I guess it's the title. It's fucking 2 sentences long.
Listeners of the 2 Daddies Judging Baddies podcast.
2 Daddies Judging Baddies, Judging Baddies. We're off.
This next post contains trigger warnings.
Trigger warnings.
If you're triggered by such things as intimidation, OP's son is held for questioning and not allowed to leave for several hours,
OP's son is held for questioning and not allowed to leave for a couple hours.
then get off this podcast now or you will be triggered. I'm so fucking mad. We do need a soundboard.
Yeah. I mean, we have one. I just have to figure out how to use it correctly. Because technically our intro is a soundboard option, so I could just get the trigger warning going on another button.
Because I just want the trigger, and then, oh God, I'm so fucking mad.
Then we could have like a sweet...
Yeah. Or listeners of the 2 Daddies Judging Baddies podcast. This next, no, not dum, because, dum, lawsuit.
Very
Free use.
very copyrighted. All right, so this is the title.
An actress actually died this weekend, and when I scrolled past it, I thought it was the lady from, I was like, oh God, but it wasn't her.
Do you see where, sorry to keep going off on random tangents, but
Fuck it,
we
we're
are
on a 2-hour podcast, and we're having fun, and that's what I like about this. Someone brought up how, he was like, you read my whole comment on the podcast or something like that. Like, I might not take the time to, like, respond to people or anything like that, but that's what I like is, like, someone's at work right now, and it feels like you're here with us.
Yeah.
You're just not with us.
We're just chit-chatting.
Like, you can't interrupt me. You know what I'm saying?
You can interrupt me.
I can, yeah. I'm the only one doing the interrupting here.
I mean, I try to interrupt every once in a while, but then I feel bad about it, and then I stop.
But that's why I'm always, like, saying, hey, follow the podcast, rate the podcast, comment, like, be a part of the discussion, because I probably will bring it up in a later episode, especially when I talk about animals not being able to love, and y'all are just like, no, look at Mike talk about.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody that agreed with you on that.
Not a single person.
There was none.
Not a single person.
Like, even when people, like, really drag me for not agreeing with your take on something, usually there's one like, yeah, Dylan's kind of right about that.
But here's the thing, too, and this is the difference between Felonious Falafel Super Dick Guy and Dylan, is that people are like, Mike, come on, you should know that animals love, and Dylan can say something innocuous, just disagree with me on something about something very, philosophical and multiple opinions to it. It's like, how could Dylan be so fucking stupid? Yeah. I want to rub his face against concrete and watch him die slowly on some asphalt. But when everybody's against me, they're just like, Mike,
you gotta understand.
Step into the animal's shoes. I tried to step into, my wife says she has it hard. All right. And I'm like, you don't got it hard. And she's like, well, how about you step into my shoes for a day and see how I got it? So for that day, I was a liar and a whore. I saw that on Facebook. I thought that was so funny.
What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to bring up. Dang it. I lost it. Oh, well.
Smallpox?
No. All right. So we'll just go into this. Our son, 19-year-old, landed at Dulles from an international flight at 7 p.m. At 7:45, he texted that he was heading to customs. It's now 11:30. We haven't heard from him, and I cannot reach him. That's a long title.
That is a long title. I'm actually clicking off so I can see the son because he has on some stuff.
He has what? Oh, there's like pictures?
Yeah, it just because this is one of the ones that I thought was an ad because it has like the picture to it. I wonder if I can click on the picture. No, if I click on the picture, it just takes me to the post. But it looks like we have a kid throwing a peace sign with a pink hat on.
Dirty hippies.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there.
All right. I've called the phone number for the airport to page him, and for customs, there's no one there to answer. Both lines say they're closed. We live in Boston. He flew into D.C. to attend his cousin's graduation before heading home. How is it any of this international?
I used to do a joke where Boston is the city God forgot to put in the South. There's a reason why a bunch of Southern people are just like, I don't normally fuck with anything up north, but Boston is nice.
Bunch of drunk Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense that they were talking about landed at Dulles from an international flight, but it says we live in Boston. He flew into D.C. to attend his cousin's graduation before heading home. His phone is going straight to voicemail. What do we do at this point?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Like, yeah, we had to we had to loop around Canada.
Yeah, you gotta
Go from D.C., loop around Canada to come to Boston.
Well, it's because the Earth's flat.
Ah, yeah. Look, score one for the flat earthers.
Yep. All right, so 20 minutes later, his phone was at 65% at 7:45. The last time I was able to track him, he's supposed to Uber to a hotel to meet family there. They haven't heard from him yet, and he hasn't shown up. I'll try the airport police. OP comments 3 minutes later. Is there any reason he may be getting held up for visa or immigration issues? He goes to the American University in Bulgaria. Okay, there's the international flight part.
Ah.
He's an American citizen. He's 19 years old. He's never been arrested. I don't know of any reason why he would be held at customs or have any problems. I spoke with him before his flight, letting him know how crazy America is right now and to make sure there's nothing that would cause a problem. I don't know what's so crazy about right now.
Right. We're in
this is
times.
May 14th, 2025. Like I don't get it. I just got off the phone with the Dulles police, gave a description of him and his flight information, and hopefully they'll call me back tonight. Thank you for the suggestions and insight so far. 2 minutes later. Bloated Globe says, I've been stuck in Dulles Customs for 2+ hours before. Do you know where he flew from? Probably Bulgaria. The Lufthansa
Good luck with that word.
flight from Munich is the biggest flight that arrives in Dulles, and it landed just before your kid arrived, so he might have been in customs past 10 p.m. Dulles is like 45 minutes from D.C., so it's definitely possible that he hadn't arrived at his accommodations yet. Is he a citizen? Yes. Update 1.75 hours. What?
What the fuck? Yeah,
Hour and
don't.
45 minutes.
Just
2 hours.
Get that out of there, buddy. Yeah, hour and a half later. We ain't gotta
Hour and a
like
half, 2 hours,
pinpoint.
yeah.
We're not pinpointing this.
1 hour and 32 minutes.
It's no. See what's happening. This is Reddit detectives trying to find out what happened to this kid. So they're 1.75. Well, I think it was more of a 1.71, but we don't round up.
We
need
have to
know exact
understand the time swift between.
Yes,
There's a little drift in the clock.
that 0.04 could mean life or death.
All right, so at 1:15 a.m., update, airport police called me back and confirmed he's still in customs. She wouldn't tell me if it was long lines or detained. She said the customs officer that she spoke with said he would have him call me when he's able. He's not a Trump supporter, but hasn't posted stuff about it.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't get it.
Nobody brought up politics.
Maybe I guarantee people brought up politics in the fucking comments.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, they didn't share them in here, but I go to any post on Reddit and see if there's any politics in there somewhere.
If a liberal was saying this stuff in 2020, I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're just making up a story. In 2025, though, it's just like,
I could believe that.
yeah, the Nazis do that. They do crazy shit. And I'm not calling Republicans that, but like people like ICE and stuff like that. I mean, it's super Nazi adjacent. So,
All right, so comment 5 hours later. This one's recovered. So finally heard from him at 4:30 a.m. Image the transcribed voicemail. So let's click on that. Can we get it? All right, so transcribed voicemail says, Mom, please, you have to pick me up. The FBI has seized my phone and my computer, and I need help as soon as possible. I'm at the airport. I don't know what to do. It's like 3 a.m. Well, that's fun.
like, what do you think he's a terroristic threat? Because if my baby sends me that, you're going to see a terroristic threat now.
Yeah. You summoned one.
Yeah, like I'm coming with well, I would not be
Just
able to.
you.
Yeah, it's just me.
Yeah.
Man, I'm probably easy. Like I like to think in my mind, you know what I'm saying? I would go through an army of people to get to my kid, but 4 good shots to like the abdominal region.
One good shot. One good shot's gonna stop you.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is, and listen, when I take shots at Republicans or Democrats, listen, we still love you, and we understand that a lot of these things are things that were preached to you as kids. There's a lot of fear mongering by media.
It's a lot of the propaganda.
Yeah, it's
Propaganda.
a lot of the propaganda. So I'm saying I love you, but in this day and age, like, yeah, I would enter that airport. One of the people there would shoot me in the stomach 4 times, while another officer recorded and laughed at me, and they'd be like, "Wow, he had a very gun-shaped cell phone."
Can I show, or can I like just lay out the way that I think it would go down?
Yeah,
You would walk in, you'd be like, "Hey, I'm just looking for my son. Is he around here?" And then if they were like, they started to get
son, he has a gun. Bam, bam, bam.
no, but then you'd be like, "Ninja," and you just like try to quick fast, and you'd punch one of them, and then you'd get shot.
Yeah, I trip over my sweaty Crocs.
You try to do a quick ninja move, and then you'd be done.
Listen, because people will be like, socks and Crocs is phenomenal. I think raw dogging Crocs is just, you're setting yourself up for a bad day.
Yeah, I don't wear Crocs, but I make fun of my friend Scott every time he wears his fitness Crocs. They're not Crocs. They look like shoes, but they've got all the holes, and it's made out of the same material. And I'm like, "Oh, those are your cool Crocs." And he's like, "They're not Crocs.
That's Crocs. Yeah,
Anything with holes in them made out of foam, that's
Crocs.
a Croc."
Yep.
He's very vehement about it not being a Croc.
We don't have to conform to branding. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's like, "Oh, I got the same shoes as you from Walmart for $10," and they're like, they're not real Crocs. Well, good job wasting $50 on some rubber shoes, bud.
Yeah, a little Indonesian kid still made yours too.
Right. They were made by the same Indonesian kid. He didn't put less love in. No love is going in these shoes, you know? Blood, sweat, and tears, yes. Love, no.
I love these rich people a lot better. Yeah, my daughter's really big on like brand name everything, and so she got a pair of Berkenstocks, and they were like $200, and I was like, "You can get the same pair, and like not the same pair."
Does she think she's going to go to school and someone's going to be like, "Fucking Berkenstocks, look at them. She is now queen of the school." It doesn't work like that.
I mean, I think in her cliques that she runs in, if it's not real, it's not cool. I'm just like, that's crazy. I was poor, and so we just had poor kid stuff, and it was fine.
Yeah, but you can look nice. A pair of jeans and a shirt, bam.
I had the Birkenstock, like the fake ones and I could get 10 pairs of those before my buddy could get a new pair of his in the same cost. So I was like, I'm just going to buy the Walmart ones, and eventually I'll probably not want to wear Birkenstocks anymore. So good on me. I saved like 30%. I spent 30% for the same shoes.
Right. We had not a cool, but like a bad, poor girl in the second high school I went
Bad
to.
as in good looking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, to younger me, she was bad. But that's when I was like, clothes are not important at all. Because she would wear like different pants or shorts and then a red like sweater every day. That was it. And nobody was just like, "Man, she's not attractive because she ain't got,
she's poor.
And she ain't got Birkenstocks." That's not a American Eagle hoodie. Ew.
Yeah, I wore the off-brand gigantic Jinko knockoff things because those things were expensive. Those were like $100 pair of pants, and so we'd wear the knockoff ones. And it was just, how big could you get that bottom leg? That's really the differentiator. So if you got the biggest, widest leg, if it was a knockoff, it was still better just because it was the biggest, widest leg. That's how you knew you were cool.
I have a terrible story. I don't like terrible stories because, I was young. Let's finish this. I'll tell a terrible story later.
All right. So after that text, a few minutes later, so OG says, I booked him an Uber and he finally got to the hotel. He was too afraid to talk too much on the payphone at the airport. Yeah, because it was tapped.
That's so crazy, though, that a kid has to be worried about that.
America.
Fuck yeah. I don't know who's listening, so don't say anything incriminating.
But he said he was questioned about his loyalty. What the actual fuck? They confiscated his laptop and phone. They said he may get it back in a day or two.
His loyalty.
It might have been Hunter Biden's laptop.
Right.
Commenter, scrub the phone number, bro. That's the payphone number he called me from. Thanks, though. Oh, yeah. Why would you have... why would he have to ask you to pick him up? Wouldn't you have been glued to your phone by that point? I'd be already in the car. Like the second that my kid is detained in some way, like I'm getting down there. And a trip from Boston to DC, I think it's like maybe like 5 hours. I'd be in the car. I did answer, but the connection was bad. He couldn't hear me. I tried calling the number back, and that's when his call went to voicemail. Commenter, Bulgaria is a proxy for Russia. A lot of spycraft going on. It's a bit unusual for an American attending university there. It could be random, but this feels more like a tip-off.
Now that does kind of bring it into the I'm not going to see a 19-year-old kid, especially the 19-year-old kid that's in that picture, and be like, Russian spy. But I guess I could see it.
You're doing such a good job of infiltrating the, I guess, left wing there.
Yeah, government, they try to tell me that all these foreign nations are the enemy. I'm like, you talk about what enemies do, but it sounds like you're the enemy. Like, to me, you know what I'm saying? Both left and right. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be like, well, they're thinking about harming you while y'all are harming us. That's just like, they're talking about it, though. Very, like, they're getting into serious talks about potentially harming you while you guys are actively harming us.
I think the wild thing is all the people talking about getting paid to protest, and I'm like, where are those checks coming from? Because they're talking about like $60,000.
Let me in, bro. I'm struggling. Like, I'll do a couple left protests in a day, a couple right protests. You know what I'm saying?
I got a 3 o'clock over in Greensboro.
I can blend. You know what I'm saying? That's what's really, really good about, just not having the traditional Southern voice, is that I can, if I'm fucking protesting with some people, maybe there's a data center, whole bunch of like Hell's Angels roll up and they're like, we gotta protect Elon Musk because one day he's gonna give us a bunch of money, and they come up with guns and shit like that. I'd be like, well, thank God y'all got here in time. I've been waiting on you. God damn, took y'all down. Take my hat off, take my jacket off. You know what I'm saying? Poke up my belly a little bit, have my shirt rise up. I'm like, it's about time some good old boys showed up.
We've been waiting on y'all.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too, man. People will be like, Mike, that's a pussy thing to do. I ain't dying for nothing. For nothing.
No.
I'm gonna die with a picket sign in my hand.
The time to do that is when your family needs you. Like, if your family is in jeopardy, that's where I understand some people, that moment is now, like with the ICE protests and stuff. Like, that is a moment in time where you're like, they're coming for my family. I'm going to do this thing. However, it does nobody any good for you to just die randomly in some random protest for whichever side.
Here's the thing. Data centers are bad, okay? We literally live in a country where people will be like, we fucking hate EA Sports so much because they keep releasing the same Madden game. They don't update the graphics. They're taking away all the things we love. They're pushing more towards the gacha system of buy all these, packs and stuff and pay real life money and all this stuff. And it's like, damn. So you didn't buy the game? Oh, no, I had to buy the new game. I had to do it so I could play. And because of, fear of missing out, I didn't want to miss out on it. So, yeah, I bought it, and they just made more money than they ever have from a game. And I'm just like, well, so what? It's like people complain about everything. Everything has gotten so bad. Capitalism has taken so much things away from the things that we love, but people are just like, but I still do it because, what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
1 year of not buying a Madden game, EA goes, all right, we got to fix everything.
Yeah.
That year has not came. I am not standing outside and dying for a cause that, nobody's going to get behind. People are happy to complain online. It's easy to, it is easy to do it on a podcast, hard to do it out in real life.
Well, because you feel like you're doing something. It's even easier to do it on Facebook with some text or a graphic or something like that. But yeah.
That's why I just don't do it. That's why I don't do it. That's why if you ask Mike, I'm not an ally. I've stated that on podcasts before. Like, it's just, I can't do it because it's like, for one, everybody jumps causes so quick.
Well, and the causes, it doesn't always have a defined, this is the things that we're standing on. It's very morphing into different things as it goes along. And that's part of the reason that it continues to be such a problem is because, prior to Trump, it was Russia was bad. And then Trump comes in, he's like, Putin, I respect the guy. And then all of a sudden, everybody on the right's like, oh, yeah, Russia, good, strong man.
They know how to run a good country over there. And I was like,
So it morphs every time that somebody tells you something new, and whatever the propaganda machine is. I think we're going hardcore on politics.
Not really. I mean, it's pretty agreeable stuff that people can get behind.
I'm not saying that it's offensive. I'm just saying we're spending a lot of time.
But once it's like, I'm sitting there and you see, all these Hispanic people getting like ripped from their homes and shit like that. Once again, I don't give a fuck. It's not a liberal thing to say that a man coming into another country to provide for his family, that's not a liberal thing. That's a human rights thing. I fucking am 100% into human rights, people being treated fair and shit like that. And then you see the left get behind that cause, okay? And it's the cause of right now. And then Taylor Swift released an album, and it then was about microaggressions in Taylor Swift's album. And I was just like, I can't. Like, what?
Yeah, keep your focus.
The fuck are we doing here? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? They will just I don't know. They're like liberals are like little fucking monkeys, man, running around that just can't. A monkey surrounded by a bunch of toys, and they're playing with this toy, and then they see another toy, a new shinier toy, and they got to go play with that toy when the other toy hasn't been properly played with. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever complete a fucking cause and will drop it at a fucking dime for whatever is popular right now.
Yeah. So editors note, as many commenters below and on the OG post have pointed out, this is not true about Bulgaria, and the university is incredibly well respected. So I guess it's not a spycraft situation. OP says, I do wonder if he was targeted due to coming to the States on a one-way ticket from an Eastern Bloc country, but he has...
I can see I get the logic on that. Why is it only one way? You know what I'm saying?
Because my family's here?
Because I ain't coming back. If you know what I'm saying. I'm staying in America.
This is a one-way ticket.
Yeah, this is a one-way ticket.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, yeah. Ain't no need for it. Ain't no need for a round trip.
I can't wink. I can only, like...
The wording of that was so funny.
But he has his student ID and student visa info. He's a U.S. citizen, born, raised, no criminal record. Yeah, but then he got recruited to go to Bulgaria to get trained, and he's now...
Russia ain't even got any of the terrorists, though.
What's the guy that pays for all that? George Soros. George Soros had a coffee meeting with him before he was getting out of high school, and he's like, hey, we need you in Bulgaria. We're working with the Russians. I know him and Trump are kind of friends, but we're going to try and infiltrate. We're going to be best buddies with Russia, and you're going to go over there and be our in for that.
And then you're going to come back and blow shit up. Boom, big boom. Remember that jackass? He's like, big boom. Going to the airport, big boom. And then they had him at gunpoint. That's best friends right there. Best friends will have a man hold you at gunpoint, and you believe it's 100% real.
All right, so OP, commenter says, OP, you posting previously about the consequences of espionage 7 days ago makes me feel like there's more to this story. OP says, as a crime podcast enthusiast, I wish that were the case. But no, I had just read some news story about a spy exchange or something along those lines and just wondered about the consequences. Unfortunately, this is just a 19-year-old American kid who was targeted for whatever reason. I'll find out more when I talk to him later today. Hopefully he sleeps for a long time. 2 hours later. Hi, I'm originally from Boston and now live around 15 minutes from Dulles. I'll DM you my number. Feel free to reach out if your son needs help accessing any resources while he's in this area. OP says, thank you. I'm heading out of Logan soon. I guess they're flying their way there too. Yeah, just trust the random person on the internet that says, like, I'll help your son.
Yeah, I'll help him. 19-year-old boy. Delicious. Well, I mean, definitely needs my help.
I'm just thinking in the spy world, like this is not an ally. It's an adversary that's going to come in. Where's he staying at?
You know, one time I dated a girl and I broke up with her 2 days later because she would, in her text, be like, wait, I didn't mean to say that. And I was like, you could just delete it.
You don't send.
Text message. Yeah. Yes, you can. There's no, in the same message.
Nope, as soon as you get
in the same message, she was like, wait, no, it's not. And I was just like, I can't deal with that.
All right, so this post is legit. I'm heading to DC. We're getting a lawyer, but beyond that, I don't know. Once I speak with him, we'll decide next steps. If it were me in his situation, I would share this all over the place, but he's young. I'm scared of the repercussions for him, especially in this political climate. Update, same post, 6 hours later. 16 from original. Final update for now. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for the responses to this post. I was at a point of desperation last night and didn't know where else to turn. Reddit was obviously the best place to go. The support, concern, and offers of help have been amazing. I was finally able to have a conversation with my son. He's still pretty exhausted and jet-lagged, and I'm sure in shock. At this time, I don't want to provide specific details for his protection. We're going to be talking to an attorney as well as others that may be able to give us a better understanding to clear this up.
An attorney would have been flying with me.
Yes.
2 hours after this
Or
whole
meeting
started.
me as soon as I was in
Would be meeting me in, where's he at, Boston?
DC.
He's in D.C., yeah.
Yeah, he's going in. He's
One-way ticket to D.C.?
and he's going to take out the big dog. Like, this is actually probably the sniper that.
And just remember, guys, you can't say, I want to kill the president. That is a thing that you cannot say.
No, it's a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat. So even if you wanted to kill the president, you can't say, I want to kill the president, okay? Or the president should die. I don't know if that one, but you shouldn't say that one either.
I honestly don't think anybody should die in these scenarios. Like, it's one of those things where they should get their, like, all the presidents have done.
Oh, it's the kid fucking thing for me. That
Yes.
is like that sold me on the. And if that was a Democratic president, it could be the most centered president that loves everybody and everything. He legalized weed and everybody's doing well. And it's like, well, he did go sleep with some children on island. And it was like, then that should be what it takes right there. That's it. That's what I would say. I would not actually say that though.
My favorite thing based around that, though, is there's this one comedian and he does stand up, and like whenever somebody gets mad that he's talking about the Epstein files, and he's like, Trump isn't in the Epstein files. Epstein is in the Trump files, because like his name is mentioned so fucking much in those files. Like it's ludicrous that you can't see that there's something there.
I don't know if it was real or fake or not, but there was a post where Diddy's son was like, my dad's name ain't in the Epstein files, and then 50 Cent had commented, yeah, because your dad was creating his own files.
Nice.
And what's so funny is, I don't know if that's real or not, but because who 50 Cent is and what he does and how big of a troll he is, I'm just like, probably real.
Yeah. All right, so I don't want to provide details. He is a kid. We just want this to be over for him and to be able to attend college and travel as the law-abiding U.S. citizen that he is. I will let you know he made his way to the customs stand and handed his passport to the agent. He was asked the standard questions, and then they put a yellow card in his passport and told him to go to another area. He said he was in an area with about 10 other people. They would call people into a room one by one. They searched his bags several times. He was then told to go back out and sit down. There was a lot of waiting and watching other people come and go. He said the initial officer searching appeared to be border control. In addition to searching his bags, they asked him repeatedly if anyone was waiting for him. He told them no, his plans were to go to a hotel to meet up with family. After several hours, 2 FBI agents come in. I think he fucked up there. Like, he says, is anybody waiting for you? Yes, my family at the hotel. It's like they expect me.
My family, whom I love very much.
They expect me to be here at this time. They know.
What if he like looked down and was like, no, not a soul is waiting on me. I ain't got nobody.
All right, they would ask him questions regarding his feelings towards the president, terrorists, and political memes he liked on Instagram. God damn. This feels like The Boys.
This feels like the FBI. God.
Did you watch The Boys? I didn't finish the 3rd episode.
No, you fucking dick, because I was waiting. You were like, I'm going to wait.
You said you watched the 1st episode.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. I did not watch I never said that. I said, are you going to start watching The Boys? You said, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to wait until it's done. And I was like, ooh, good call. My only fear was that people were going to spoil it for me online.
I'm going to spoil it for you right now.
You
so what happened in the
dicks.
1st episode?
God.
All right, then they send him back out to wait for long periods of time. They also asked him several times if anyone was there waiting for him. No, he shouldn't have answered the questions and shouldn't have let them search his phone, although clearing through customs, I don't know that he really had a choice. But he's only 19. He was very scared. He had been up over 24 hours at this point. Why didn't homie sleep on the plane? No, I started watching it because I thought you already watched it. You said I could have sworn you said you watched the 1st episode.
No, I said no, because I said that we were about to start the 1st episode. We were eating, and like it's just showing a recap of the series, and a guy gets ripped in half, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch this while I'm eating.
It is not a show for dinner time. All right. When they told him he could go, they said they were keeping his phone and his laptop because they're not done searching it and should get them back in a couple days. Luckily, he remembered my phone number without having to look it up on his phone that he didn't have. He said he was worried that he didn't know where he was and didn't know what was happening to him. That's when he was finally able to call me around 4:30 a.m. He was detained from about 8 p.m. till 4:30 a.m. He's done nothing wrong. There was not a specific activity he participated in that they questioned, specific group that he belongs to, nothing. From what I gather, they were trying to find something. They found nothing, so now they have his laptop and phone. Yeah, that's one of those things where I think the guys that do the First Amendment audits, they're shit people. But if you can learn some stuff from them about like what you do have to tell a cop and what you don't have to tell a cop, and when you should say like I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment, like I'm using the Constitution or the Bill of Rights to like protect myself. Knowing all that stuff is a good thing to do.
Right.
And I guess especially if you're a Bulgarian exchange student, like going over there for you, he should know like, oh no, I'll just wait for my lawyer. I'm not going to tell you anything.
It's a mobile domicile, bitch.
All right, so they added some information in a comment. This is what they gave him when they decided they were done. Oh, and they told him to use a payphone to reach me. Detained for 8 hours, reason of detention, border search. So the detention notice, I don't know that. Nope, it doesn't want to load up there. OP adds some more information on May 18th. He's white, quarter Asian, but marks Caucasian and looks totally white. We were told he was a random poll by the senator's office. We are going to be speaking with an attorney that practices in this area of law. What's your favorite area of law? You said it the other day while we were walking.
Fuck me, yeah.
Animal trespassing?
No, yeah, animal trespassing. When animal trespasses on your lawn, they can tell you what you can and can't do in that scenario.
All right, so multiple press agencies have reached out, but we are waiting to speak with our attorney. Editor's note, blah, 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 sharing links.
It's just a bunch of links of similar stories.
All right, so, yeah, I guess there's a bunch of people. In 2007, somebody, they don't say where they're coming from.
I think just that last one will kind of give insight into the stories they shared.
Celine Flawed, 22, a university student, was told that despite having a valid passport and a ESTA waiver, there was a, quote, problem with her passport. She was held for 24 hours, during which she was interrogated, her smartphone confiscated, her photos searched. But despite showing officials her hotel bookings in New York and Miami and her flight tickets on to Cancun, Mexico, she was told she was being sent back to Germany as soon as possible. Cool. Imagine your kid going like overseas to do school and then they come back to that.
What were you doing over there? Learning? What'd you learn? How to build a bomb? No. World history?
They say different things about the United States than I learned in U.S. history.
Right. Turtle sign language? Like, that's what we were learning. Turtle sign language? Yeah, I'm getting my degree in learning sign language for turtles.
I bet with how long turtles live, that if they were smart and you could communicate with them, you'd learn a lot.
Well, the only thing we got to do is we got to get a rat who has already been subjected to the toxic waste to find 4 turtles who have been subjected to that same toxic waste.
But doesn't he also have to be like a rat that is then taught like a lot of cool stuff by scientists?
Nobody talks about how unlucky Shredder is that in his, rise to being a villain and trying to take over, he was going to get thwarted by just a bunch of animals that happened to come into some toxic waste.
And teenagers at that.
Right.
Like just teenage turtles.
Yeah. What was that one joke I had said? I was talking about my grandpa buying knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, and it was like, I forgot how, it was like adolescent disfigured martial arts tortoises. Yeah. It's the knockoff brand. he used to get costumes from flea markets and stuff like that. Yeah. And then like the fucking, what's his name? The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Stay Puft, whatever. It'd just be like Pasty Chef. The Pasty Chef costume.
We have probably a dozen different knockoff. Shit, I can't think of the name now.
What is it?
It's the new big hit movie,
oh.
Golden and all that stuff.
I thought
The fucking kids
Hunters.
movie.
Demon Hunters.
Yeah,
K-pop Demon Hunters. There we go.
We have like roomy hair and all kinds of random stuff from that anytime my daughter sees it, she's like, I want that.
How is it worded though? Because it's always stuff. Because they kind of like hint to it. They're like purple Asian hair.
Yeah, we have multiples of those, and she watches Hope Scope. I don't know if you've ever been subjected to that. She very, very popular YouTuber, but she'll buy like all the Temu and knockoff things and then tell you whether it was like legit or not. And so she did one where she tried to put together a roomie costume from like $30 all the way up to like $3,000. And
just the money that they give to you just make a video and we're doing it from $30 to $3,000 and we're going to test out these costumes. And then look, those videos also get me when someone's like, we're trying blank out and from budget to $1 million. I'm like, well, now I have to watch.
I want to see what it's about.
I will never, ever buy any of this under any circumstances, but I'm going to watch this entire video.
As if possibly it could be my reality. And I want to know, I want to be a good shopper and make the right decision.
Where I know I fucked up though is once I get into Watch Mojo binge. Like that's when I know I'm down
I don't know what that is.
Deep hole. It's just they do all the lists, top 10 movies from 2005 and worst movie every year since the year 2000. And then worst movies every year since the year 1999. Completely different video now, okay?
Yeah, because there's a whole nother year added to it.
There is.
But now the worst movie is not the same one from 2000.
They've really conglomerated, though, because I tried to watch one this morning, and literally it goes ad, halfway, not even halfway, they introduce the first story, ad, get done with the first story, ad. And I, a creator, know that you could put your ad placements in there. So I'm like,
wherever you want.
Bitches, yeah. And literally, you could not get through a whole top 10. I had to have 12 ads in a 15-minute video. And I was like, did people just assume that this is like YouTube did? Like YouTube certainly put a lot of ads in this video.
Well, sometimes, like, because we don't touch our ads. Like, we click on and roll with whatever YouTube. And I think they do it different for different people and your watching style. Like, if you are willing to sit through a bunch of ads without skipping, like, I think they probably give you more. But with ours, I don't know how many ads are in one of our episodes.
Not 15. Because that one guy would have let us know.
Well, and honestly, we'd probably make more money on YouTube if there was 15 ads shown.
Hey, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube listeners, how do you feel about, getting the latest things from Temu or, PetSmart, getting a deal on that? Because we could load you down. I think where the real big problem comes is September, October, once they start doing all the political ads. Oh my God. Like
I thought
that.
you were talking about Christmas season, but yeah, political season is terrible.
It always starts off with, blank, dum dum, says he's for the American people. But in 2016, he voted on a bill to dump radioactive waste onto small black children playing basketball. How can this monster be allowed in Congress? Vote for Jill Brand. Jill Brand dumps radioactive battery acid on Hispanic people, which is much better because it's over the border and you don't think of people outside of this country as people. So Jill Brand, good guy. We'll start doing villain stuff as soon as she gets into office. She just got to get the payday for it.
What was that one? Oh, yeah, the honest political ads. Gil Fulbright for Senate. That one's the best one ever. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Where he's like, now these are some things that I might actually believe in, but as soon as I get into office and I have lobbyists, then I'm going to completely change everything that I believe in.
If they want me to change my name, I'll be Phil Goldbright, or I'll be Gil Fulbright, or fill up my mouth with the farts.
Yeah. Ooh, there's one in here that's not supposed to be in here. Get out of here, mother-in-law. I thinking we were 16.
What's that?
I'm not going to read the title of it because then someone's going to be like, "Why didn't you read that story?" But it was from last episode that I didn't.
Oh, you didn't remove it properly.
All right, so am I the asshole? My boyfriend just got married, not to me. Am I an idiot for staying in the relationship? We have trigger warnings. I'm not going to do it again. You only get like one every other episode. But it's fraud and infidelity.
Fraud. Infidelity. They be cheating. So wait, you're still with him?
Yeah, I don't get how this is. I love the Facebook groups that is like, is anybody else dating this man? And then it's now just become a meme thing because everybody, like, dudes will be in there and be like, I dated him. He said he was going to love me forever. And I love I don't think you got a straight friend if you don't make, sexual jokes to each other. It's just not a friend. Yeah. I don't think.
Well, no, we broke it down when we were at the gas station. If your friend gets offended by you making those jokes, most likely your friend is
yeah, that's
not
when you have the We're in the midst of an enemy. Just kidding, gay people. Imagine, though, Christians looking at gay people as the enemy because, like, what a very innocuous enemy to have.
Well, especially...
They're in there just decorating their houses nicely.
My whole thing is consenting adults. Beyond that, like, do what you do. Consenting adults. Whatever,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
We hear that, but we want to burn them alive because of our religion.
But one of our big guys that's helping us get our agenda across happens to not necessarily have always done consenting and not always done adults.
And then he did, he sucked somebody off, didn't he?
Supposedly.
He sucked somebody off. Him, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we have context now, okay? And I am speaking on the person, not the agenda that they have. But it really does seem like the most good-hearted president we've had in the past 30 years was George W. Bush. Because, A, he didn't want to be president.
In the past 30 years. I think the best president, and it's the one that everybody likes to shit on, is Jimmy Carter. Because, like, literally, he got done being president, and he just was a solid old dude. The rest. Like, is he still alive? I think he's still alive.
No, I think he died last year.
But like he
legitimately last year or the year before, I think.
He was just a good fucking human. And, people can disagree with his politics, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot to that.
He was the only one in the political sphere that was like advocating for people,
Yes.
Advocating for people. And sure, he wasn't in like a seat of power or anything like that. But yeah, he died in 2024.
Yeah. But no, he was like the nicest human that's ever been president. But he's the one that everybody loves to hate.
Yeah, George W. Bush solely ran because his daddy in the Republican Party was like, we can get you to the finish line. And he was like, I don't want to be in any finish lines, man. I just want to party. Like,
just give me a little toot.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I just want to do a little toot, a little bit of sitting at home, drinking some beer, go hunting. That sounds like a good time. And then now he's so fucked up by the...
invasion.
Yeah, the war,
Afghanistan,
in Afghanistan, Iran and Iraq, or Afghanistan, and Iraq.
There you go,
I'm fucking this up.
We are definitely
on the second stroke
on the
right now.
ADHD part of the podcast.
But he paints portraits of the soldier and sends it to the family.
Yeah.
Or he'll, if the family don't want it, he'll donate it, or he gives them money and stuff like that. And he was like the only guy that's just like, I don't want it. And usually, like Jon Snow, I don't want it. Like that's the person you want, except for he didn't really have powers. Everybody else kind of, this is what you do. This is how you should do it. George W. Bush is, and I feel the first instance of them picking a guy saying this guy is going to be the face, and then everybody else has power.
Yeah. Well, there's it was the most
egregious
seeing behind the curtain of like, oh, this guy he doesn't get to make the agenda. He's just going to speak the agenda.
He's announcing what's happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to war with Iraq, even though Afghanistan
was where
that's supposedly who did, destroy the World Trade Centers. But, you know what I'm saying? They looked at us in a crazy way while it happened. So we just had to go over there. And And look, I am all for, if like a country were to do that, and it's like, you got to say, hey, this shit ain't allowed. But a lot of the things that they were doing is like they would show, Iraq, and they would be doing the whole death to America thing and like burning the American flag. And all I'm saying is if Canada was like, you had a bunch of Canadian troops, in your country, in America, and they were like shooting shit, like they just shot your kid because your kid ran out and they were like, oh, he maybe has a bomb. You probably wouldn't like them as much. So that's why I'm like, man, if we just minded our own business, because all these great countries, like you hear about all these prospering countries, they just mind their own business.
Yeah, pretty much.
And America's still like, but yeah, they could be a threat. Maybe we need to bomb them. Maybe we need to fuck them up just because a threat. But if America minded their own business and then a country fucked with them, you get the world's most powerful military, and then you just like, erased their political leaders from existence, that would dissuade anybody from fucking with any country. But if you're like, hey, if you fuck with America, we are going to kill the fuck out of your civilians. And the government's just like, but not us? No. Then the war's over. We don't want to do that. God.
How are we going to shoot these $3 million missiles?
Yeah. That's crazy. It costs $3 million. Y'all could take everything else from just like poor people, but you're like, nope, this
I saw a video of like a fighter ship, like an air carrier, and they were shooting missiles and all these things, and it just kind of tallied up how much it was, and it was like, this could buy this many people for housing, this much for food, this much for healthcare, and it was just like millions.
Have you seen the movie Greyhound?
Mm-mm.
So it's a Tom Hanks movie, and it is literally, it's a great movie. But I'm not a big action fan, but it is an hour and a half of just pure fighting. It's a World War II movie, and he is a captain, and he's like fighting these German U-boats. It's based on a real story, but it is an hour and a half of fighting, which normally I'd be like, this is trash, this is garbage. I don't like a big drawn out fight scene. I don't like fight scenes in general. I don't like car chase scenes. It's just, man, we ain't got nothing for this part right here. 20-minute car chase.
I mean, you were pretty mad about the Stranger Things.
No. It doesn't have to be a fight scene. It's they rolled up on the bad guy.
All right, I'm not going to start this.
Killed the bad guy in 2 minutes. It's not that I want a fight scene. It's like I want something. I don't want
some tension.
Yeah.
Build it up.
But they shoot so many bullets and all this stuff at these U-boats. It is literally like watching an hour and a half Star Wars, but just stormtroopers shooting at it, because they do not hit anything. 4 U-boats get like visibly sank by this battleship.
Mm-hmm.
And the scenes to which the U-boats are destroyed probably takes up a minute and a half total. The rest of that movie is straight missing. Just missing the fuck out of these U-boats, which I get it. They're submersible, crafts, and it's going to be hard to kind of get them. It does have one of the most chilling scenes I've ever seen in a movie, because they like hack into their signal. Not hack into their signal. They just go on the channel that they're on.
It's radio.
Yeah, it's just radio. Yeah, they just go on the channel that they're on, and it's like, Greyhound, we have killed your comrades. We've heard their screams as they died. How long until you join them and shit like that? And I'm like, that was fucking good. It was a great movie. For me not liking action, it was a great movie. All right, so boyfriend got married, not to me. Am I an idiot for staying in the relationship? My boyfriend is in the military and absolutely hates his job, and especially having to live on base with 18-year-old idiots in a place where his boss can come find him at any hour of the day or night and tell him to do something. Having had my fair share of bad living situations, I completely understand that one facet of your life can make such a big difference, and I know how much he wants out. The problem is, he isn't high enough rank to live off base unless he's married.
So this is from a 25 female, 25 male. They've been together for 8 months.
Glossed right over that. He has brought up the idea a few times before, and I always told him it upset me to think of him marrying someone else, even just on paper. Last week, he started pursuing it more intently with a coworker of mine who is Canadian and hoping to gain citizenship. We had a long talk, and I told him all of my concerns, and he told me he was thinking about it solely as a business deal and that I wouldn't change anything between us. I still told him I really don't want him to do it. But baby, I got to marry her so she can get her citizenship and I can get the fuck off base.
And we do have to consummate the marriage to make it legal.
Right, yeah. And prima nocta, the fucking highest ranking member of the military that lives on base, has to come sleep with her first before I get to sleep with her. I think that's the funniest scene in Game of Thrones when, Roose is telling Ramsay about his mom. He's like, well, the dad didn't tell me because I get to sleep with the woman when they get married. He didn't tell me. So I hung him and then I raped your mom and that's how you were born. And the whole time, Ramsay's the most psychopathic guy he's just, and that's the story of your mom. The next day, he picks me up at work and tells me he's meeting the girl to go get married that evening. I flipped. He dropped me off, and it takes me 3 hours to talk myself into staying in the relationship. But he showed little to no remorse when this is such a big deal. And she's just like, but he showed no remorse for marrying somebody else. Just gave a trite apology when I asked for one and hasn't been doing anything to try to make it up or make me feel loved and respected. What words do you say to a woman to make her feel loved and respected when you just married another woman?
Leave.
I am absolutely in love with him and want to be with him. I feel like we mesh so well and we're perfect for each other. He assured me that he loves me and doesn't want our relationship to be temporary, etc. He's laying down the dick.
Except for I married another
Yeah,
woman.
he's laying down the dick. And that's dick and tongue action right there, boy. If you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I want a woman to love me that much, got to go down on her, buddy. It's the only way to really solidify that that she's crazy about. That's a thing I want too. It's not even, Dylan talks about points and stuff like that. Like I want, if I look at a woman and say, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore, I want her to stab me. I want her to go crazy and like claw my face with her nails or something like that. Like I don't want somebody who I'm in a relationship with that's just like, it doesn't matter if you leave or go, or if you leave, I'll cry a little bit, but then I'll move on. Now, I want you to want to kill me when I leave. Like I want to fear for my life from leaving you. That's what I want. There's only one way to do it, fellas. Jam that jam. Hulk Hogan got a tattoo that said jam that jam. It was supposed to say I am that I am, but the eyes look like J, so it says jam that jam. I am that I am. He won't be living with her. He'll get his own apartment, and she'll just have her name on the lease, and that will be her official residence. They'll have a joint checking account just for paying rent and bills. How is the military not going to pick up on this, though? Because people are super sus when a non-citizen gets married to a citizen. They do a whole investigation around that. And I think they would bring up
It's just a Canadian.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Well, we couldn't tell that they weren't
They're all nice up there.
Honestly, I see this working out very badly, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to get away with it. All of his coworkers and bosses know me or about me, so I'm suddenly being married to someone else who I'm suddenly him being suddenly married to someone else is going to be a giant red flag. Not to mention, they're trying to screw with immigration laws, which is just as a ridiculously stupid idea, since any casual look into either one of them will make it obvious they're not in a relationship. Haven't had any communication with each other before about a week ago, and are doing this as a scam, but there is no reasoning with him about it. Am I being stupid for staying in this relationship just because I'm in love? Or is that enough to make it worth staying and trying to work things out? I like this first comment. Are you kidding? Yes, you are an idiot for staying in this relationship. For the record, what your boyfriend is doing is incredibly illegal. I believe penalties for doing this are also much harsher for enlisted than for civilian when he gets caught. OP says, yeah, I know. I think he made an incredibly stupid decision. The potential consequences for both of them are incredibly high. He could get fired. It just sucks because before this happened, everything was so wonderful with him. We were so ridiculously happy together. He made such a stupid, irresponsible, reckless mistake. That's why they always get married 2 weeks before knowing each other. Like how? This is a military kid. Like they meet a girl 2 days later. They'll meet a girl at a bar who's just like, I just broke up with my ex. I'm in love. And he's like, we should get married. And she's like, okay. And then they get married. And obviously you did something wrong. Remember Coombe Valley says, this is not a mistake. This is a series of decisions. Don't give him that mental out. This is deliberate and carefully chosen. It's phenomenally dumb, but it's not an accident. First of all, OP, stop talking yourself into staying with this guy. It's only been 8 months. I forget that part. I forget that part. It's only been 8 months. He's showing you who he is now, and who he is a real dick. He's defrauding his government He is going to end up dishonorably discharged and unemployed, and he obviously has no respect at all for his relationship with you or for yourself. Love is great. Love is important. But love is not enough. I feel like we mesh so well. Then why isn't he listening to you when you tell him how uncomfortable this makes you? And we're perfect for each other. Then why is he marrying someone else? This might actually be the best guy you've ever dated, OP. This might be the healthiest, sanest, most pleasant relationship you ever had. But it's still not good enough. It's still not what you deserve. Move on.
I think it's so dumb that they included, like, he's defrauding his government. He's going to end up dishonorably discharged and unemployable. No, he married another fucking woman. Like,
That's the part, yes.
None of the other stuff matters.
Everybody's like, we're going to gloss over this. Defrauding the government. That's the government bots in the chat. Yeah. Whoa. What is his name? A number of things that are going on here that is against military regulations and federal law. Adultery is forbidden in the military, not because they care who screws who, but because situations exactly like this. Marriages of convenience are punishable by the UCMJ. If he's caught with you after he gets married, it's all over. Dylan, what is UCMJ? Right off the dome.
Something military justice. I don't know what the UC stands for.
Probably has to be United Council.
Commission.
All right, now I'm going to look it up. So your answer is United Council. Well, that sounds, United Commission I think is better.
Commission of Military Justice.
Watch us be incredibly wrong about this.
I think I got MJ.
UCMJ stand for Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Oh, I got the MJ right. But
I feel like uniform is way more like than United. Anytime there's a U, I'm just like United. It's United something. 2, immigration fraud is a federal offense. It's actually called a benefit fraud. It carries a sentence of up to 5 years of prison and fines of up to $250,000. Marriage fraud in general is against the UCMJ. Here's a story of a few guys caught doing this. All of that aside, why not just marry you? If he's really intent on doing this just to get out of the barracks, he doesn't seem like someone who returns your feelings as strongly as you would hope he does. So OP updated the next day, November 4th, my birthday, 2014. Edit. Thanks, internet strangers. I think I knew as soon as it happened that the relationship was doomed. Honestly, on Thursday when we talked about it, and he seemed so completely resistant, I knew, but he tried to make me believe that I was the one being selfish and unreasonable and overly emotional. And because I love him, I tried to believe him. I tried to convince myself that I could excuse this, that it wasn't a big deal, that it wasn't worth breaking up over. I needed strangers to tell me I'm not the insane one. It's insane to think about being with a person who could do something like this. So thank you all for the validation. I feel like I'm not allowed to be sad about losing the person I love just because it ended badly.
Is a new post.
This is a new post. I'm not looking for advice. I just feel like I need a safe place to express what I'm feeling. My 25 female, ex-boyfriend, 24 male, did something so incredibly, unbelievably hurtful and thoughtless and disrespectful, and then tried to make me feel like I was being irrational for thinking we couldn't make it work.
He got younger. He was 25 in the original post. Now he's 24.
Well, should probably round it up. For the full story, see the other story. His actions during this time showed me clearly that he had little to no regard for me and never truly loved me. In fact, when we were breaking up, he actually told me that it was never real. Obviously, I was and am angry. I'm angry that I was treated this way. I'm angry that he would do that, say that. I'm angry at myself for ignoring the warning signs and staying with him as long as I did. I'm angry at her for marrying him. I'm angry with both of them for going on a camping trip together with people I introduced him to, people I have to work with. Less than a week before we broke up, I am angry. Here's the thing, though. If you're petty, you have the biggest thing. Like, imagine all these other relationships that break up, and it's like, like he was a dick, but he didn't do anything illegal. You have multiple things that he's done wrong. Like, you could just be like, hey, they got married because you could just be on the base talking to, like, one of his higher-ups, just slide that by. He could be at the bar and just be like, yeah, that's crazy they got married just so she can get Canadian citizenship.
Or that wasn't the thing. He's actually into the girl, moved on, and
right, he was cheating on her. Yeah,
she's the Canadian is actually the girl that he's wanting to be with, and he just kicked her to the curb in a very random ass way.
Right. Yeah, this is how he did it. But also, I'm really sad. It hurts that I lost my best friend, the person I was closest to, the person I loved. It's painful to lose my companion, the person I spend at least 48 hours straight with every weekend. It's really hard to try to figure out how to be alone, even though he never thought about it. He's in the military. It's easy to, you're like, I get to see him on weekends. During the week, you'd be alone. Even though he never thought about it in these terms, even though he thought it was never real, I miss being an us. I'm really heartbroken and I miss him. And that's the hardest thing about this, because all of my friends are rallying to my side and supporting me and calling him an asshole and telling me how much better I am without him and that I shouldn't have a problem getting over such a thoughtless idiot. But I am. And I can't go to them with my sadness. They won't get it. They'll tell me he doesn't deserve my tears. They won't allow me to feel what I am feeling. It confuses and angers me too, because I know it's true I'm better off without him. I can look back in time and identify the red flags. I can see actions I excused as what they really were, selfish and thoughtless. I know that I deserve better and I don't want him back, but I'm still really sad that I lost him. This is a terribly ranting post, and I'm sorry. Thank you for giving me an outlet to express my confusing emotions and grieve for my failed relationship, for what we had, for the dreams I had of what could have been.
What could have been? Wow. It was a love story, and then it just fell apart.
So what you do is you go to the bar that the fucking sergeant goes to, and you be like, yeah, man, that's crazy. They got married just so she can get Canadian citizenship. That's it. That's all you do. And then you kind of get, look, sadness is sadness, and it's hard for sadness to go away and the feeling of alone to go away. But I think it's a lot easier to deal with that sadness if you aren't thinking about them in the middle of the woods fucking. You know what I'm saying? If he's like behind bars and she's in Canada, you're just kind of like, that's crazy that she wanted to marry an American so she can get citizenship over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, yeah. It's like universal health care, and the wait times just wasn't for me, you know? Like, it's the wait times, and then, because, you know, we would have to wait 2 weeks to see a specialist. And then he's like, you know, you got to wait like 6 months.
You have to go see your primary care physician, and then after you do that, they'll schedule you a quick appointment with a specialist in about 6 to 8 weeks.
They'll recommend you to a specialist, and maybe that specialist can see you.
And then after 6 to 8 weeks, you'll go in and see them, and then if anything needs to be done, it'll probably be 6 months from now when they can fit you in to actually get some stuff handled. And
the cancer has progressed too far, and despite our best efforts, you will die in 3 months. So it sucks, but that's the nature of the beast when you got to make money off of this, you know? Healthcare ads make up 75% of ads that are played on TV. That's crazy.
So that's like all the drugs and everything.
Literal statistic I heard from Joe Rogan, though.
So you know it's true.
Yeah. Anything I repeat from Joe Rogan, I'm just like, grain of salt, got it from Joe Rogan.
Well, the funny thing is they were talking about the global warming and the temperatures rising and all that stuff. And Joe Rogan said it multiple times about like how we're technically in like a global cooling. But the part that they don't talk about is the graph that they're showing is over like millions of years. And then if you look at very zoomed in on ours, it's like it's down, and then now it's going beep, like straight up, like faster than it's went up in history of all the measurements. And it's like, yeah, you see the graph and you're like, oh, cooling. Well, yeah, we're cooler than average, but we're like shooting up straight and getting warmer fast.
Yeah, we're not concerned about getting warm. Because the Earth will go through periods of it'll be hot, it'll be cold, it'll be closer to the sun, farther away. It's the concerning part is
the speed.
Yeah, the speed to which it's warming up in the technical cooling period. You know what I'm saying? Before it eventually, I guess, gets to an ice age in thousands of years. The unexpected, because the Earth kind of like regulates itself. But then when it's cooling. And then all of a sudden it's getting warmer when it's supposed to be cooling. We don't know the effects. Could be nothing. I don't know. Nobody knows. But
I mean, there's a lot of people that have theories on it. Like there's a lot of smart people that are spending a lot of time and effort trying to put it all together. But that's the thing.
The worst thing is just fear mongering, though.
But he was quoting this one article with this one graph, and then didn't bother to actually like see the context of it. And the context of it was like, hey, this is kind of an alarm bell that is ringing. But he just looked at the graph, and he's done it like multiple times, and it's like, just read the article.
My boy is literally he will look something up, click on the first result, and then be like, this is what they say, and that's crazy. And I'm like, look at what website did you click on?
Yeah. I kind of miss the old days of the like conspiracy theories, the ancient concepts, the cryptozoology, like those type of episodes. But everything gets so political, which, you know, this whole episode's been political. But I like when he has like random ass people with crazy ideas on there, and then they can have a discussion, and you're like, they're crackpots, or that's a cool concept. Those are my favorite episodes that he's ever done.
My favorite episodes of 2 Days Judging Baddies is where we ignore all politics and just are on the stories, reading them, doing a good job. Because we are not supposed to have opinions or anything.
We are
like
not.
That. No.
I do enjoy getting a little bit off in the weeds for him, but like I think we went heavy today.
Yeah. Why don't you give him another story since we went heavy?
All right. How about this? This one's just like basically a nothing burger. My 26 female husband, 30 male of 6 years, wants to be the father of another woman's child.
All right. This is adjacent to the other story.
Mm-hmm. Trigger warning: infidelity. Original post is September 16th, 2015. This is an 11-year-old post. So my husband unleashes this on me 3 days ago, and I'm still reeling. We're talking over dinner, and he mentions that a longtime friend of his wants to have a baby. I don't know this woman personally, but he's talked about her before. Apparently, she asked him to be the sperm donor, and he said he was very flattered. Oh, shucks, me. And he wanted to do it. At first, I was really surprised, but not necessarily upset. Even though I didn't find the idea palatable, I didn't want to jump to the wrong conclusions. So I told him to explain a little more about what was meant. He tells me she's just wanted a kid for a while, and she's decided to not wait for a relationship anymore. I asked him if it would be difficult for him to know that someone out there, he had a child that he couldn't see or whose life he couldn't be a part of, and if that would affect him emotionally. Then he whips out some really upsetting news. This woman wants him to actually be the father figure. Nah, bitch.
Right.
That's a different scenario. Sperm donor is not a father figure.
Right. This is weird now.
She wants him to be a part of the kid's life, like the actual dad. I do not like this.
Well, you ain't got to wait for a relationship then, because you got this guy being the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sister wives. Like, she could have pitched it that way, and maybe she might have had a better shot at this, but I do not like this for one major reason. He's been intimate with this woman before. They dated in their early 20s, but he refers to her as a friend, and before now, I never minded their friendship. I assumed they didn't think of each other that way anymore. They still might not, but to be fair, but it isn't very fucking intimate to share. But isn't it very fucking intimate to share the active parenting of a child? I just don't know if they'd keep it platonic, considering their history and this very bond-building event that they want to plan. He said I'm overreacting and that I'm showing trust in him. I'm not showing trust. Jesus Christ.
Read that whole line over again.
He said I'm overreacting and that I'm not showing trust in him. I'm being insecure, and it's insulting because he's always been loyal to me before, and I have no reason not to trust him, which is true, but it's just so uncomfortable for me to consider.
Yeah, it's not fair on social media how much shit you get when you flub a line versus when I flub a line. When I flub a line, they're like, "Look at Michael, he's so cute. He's so fat he could barely get them little words out of his mouth." And then like, God, Dylan, you stuttered on that word. You should die.
Yeah, I just like the guy that told you to get a new co-host. That was my favorite one.
Yeah, and then let me get a really out there, not serious co-host, and then you'll be 45 minutes into an episode. We have not started a story. It has been all jokes, and you're like, I don't know why I listen to this podcast.
We'll end up being in a dark room with a cell phone.
Yeah, it would, yeah. Yeah. Coming live from my room. We're in the closet because there's no echo.
Echo. Yeah, I think I just did not get enough sleep last night. That's the reason why my brain's not firing on all cylinders right now.
Oh, dude, I've combined Pimple and Hippo. I went on a Iraq-Iran, it took like 10 seconds for me to get back into game with that. So, I mean, it's a podcast, and that's a thing about us versus other people is we do not cut things out of our podcast.
And that's why it feels like you're sitting in the room with us.
And that's right.
All right, so there's another issue, too. He and I have talked about children. Wait a second. What the fuck?
What?
You guys are married, and then he's talking about having a kid with some random bitch that he used to sleep with, but you guys don't have kids, but you want to have kids.
Exactly. See, this guy gets it. I was showing my son the skit of it's SNL, and they're having like the most evil inventions, and the first girl has a freeze gun, and then the next guy has a shrink ray, and the third guy, who's played by The Rock, he invented a child molesting robot. And they're all like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, isn't this the contest for the most evil invention?" He was like, "Mussolini used to feed people castor oil until they literally died of diarrhea. I mean, that's got to be where the bar is at, like, because it's evil inventions." And it was like, like the Gru-esque villains on there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm telling the story. What did it fucking pertain to?
About, I don't know.
Even though we started trying for kids, what? How does my brain work?
I don't know.
He and I have talked about children, and I let him know.
Yeah. We were talking about how he doesn't have kids with them or with his partner, but he's going to go off and have kids. But I don't know how that.
I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, what was my brain thinking?
I don't know. I completely lost that one topic that I was going to go off to, and it was really good. It was the best. It was the best. It's like the greatest song in the world. This is just a tribute.
Yeah, it would have been if what Dylan lost and what I lost was in this episode. You ought to be saying best episode ever.
Yeah, we'd be millionaires. You would end up sharing this with every single friend of yours and be like, "This is peak podcasting."
I don't know. It had to be something with, I don't know.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. There was a reason I was telling that story.
All right. There's another issue, too. He and I have talked about children, and I let him know fairly early in our relationship, right when we started getting serious, that I have some fertility issues that may make it difficult to have kids in the future. I let him know that I've never gotten a specialist's opinion and that nothing was certain, but I've been told it may be a concern in the future. It wasn't something in the forefront of my mind. We had both agreed, I thought, to put off planning a family for a few years. So to me, it was a distant issue, one that I thought I'd just deal with later when we were trying. So I think one of the episodes we did previously where the girl slept with the guy and then she ended up getting pregnant and then the guy went back to his ex-wife, I think they just do that this way. Is she just goes ahead and gets the baby and then they just commandeer the baby.
Oh yeah, man, that one was real popular on social media too. I knew it. I knew it was going. That's why I had you reread that line, because this was going to do numbers, champ.
All right. He goes on to tell me he and this woman have been discussing this for a few days. No, dog. You do not start discussing
We've
this
been talking about fucking for a few days now.
He goes on to tell me that he and this woman have been discussing this for a few days, and he's going to do it because I might not be able to have his kids anyways. And if it turns out I can't, he wants to seize this opportunity because he might not get another one like this later. I feel hurt. My emotional reaction is that I'm somehow inadequate, even though we haven't even started trying for kids, and I haven't even gotten a specialist's opinion. I feel written off. I feel shocked. I feel very fucking upset. But deep down, I wonder, what if I can't have kids? Is it fair to deny him parenthood?
Yes.
And there's other options. You can adopt. You could have a surrogate.
IVF. There's so many things now.
Am I looking at this the wrong way? Truthfully, he has always been faithful. Could this dynamic somehow function properly in a way I'm not seeing? If you like to eat pussy, then you could just bring her in the fold and you guys just have a throuple.
Right.
I'm so weirded out right now, I wouldn't even know how to picture this future. We have an argument. He tells me I'm being selfish because he's always wanted children and I cannot expect him to give up such a huge dream of his. He says he isn't cheating with this other woman. They aren't going to have sex. He claims it'll be like he just has a kid that he can father and the kid will just live with a friend. That's not how that works.
No, that's not.
And you guys used to sleep together.
Right, yeah.
Like this is just like rekindling an old flame. He says it really has nothing to do with our relationship. What? This is such a random ass story.
Crazy.
He says it has nothing to do with our relationship. It's his own personal matter, and I wouldn't have to do anything. Except for you have a kid now. The kid will then come over to your house. If you're going to be a father figure, you're going to have to see the kid. So, like, technically, she'll be stepmom to a kid that you guys had while you guys were married. I think that's really how he views it. Like when one person in a marriage has a time-consuming, expensive hobby that the other doesn't enjoy, but still allows their partner to do, even though it means giving up time and resources. But this is a child, not a sailboat.
That's a good, yeah, that's a good. They're not nearly as fun as sailboats.
Would you go out on a sailboat?
Yeah.
I had a boss of mine. He bought a sailboat and he just started sailing.
I think the funniest thing too is everybody on that sailboat did not have as much fun as the guy who owned the sailboat, because he was, as soon as he touched the boat and like he started like setting it up and everything like that, you could just see there was, and he's like on the way and just, he's done this a million times. This is my first time on a sailboat. I'm just like, nothing special. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of cool, whatever. And he was like, watch as we take this sharp turn. He looks back, just happiness in his eyes. And I'm just like, this is his life. Like,
Pure
this is,
enjoyment.
I guarantee you, there's not a friend or relative who has not had to sit through a long discussion about sailing with this guy.
This is a woman he's dated and slept with, even if it was years ago. And that's what's off-putting for me. I honestly have never been in this position, so I don't know if I'm just freaking out. I don't know if people commonly do things like this, or how things turn out, or how I'm supposed to approach this. A child will be a huge part of his life that I apparently will have no part in. Can someone reality check this, please? How do I even proceed with this? Divorce.
Easy.
Divorce.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I don't have to go on, but I'm going to read a couple comments and then the update. So Cardinal29 says, nope, nope, nope. Not selfish, perfectly reasonable. What a can of worms this is going to open up.
Do not read the next part, because that was done after the final update.
Okay. All right, so update September 27th, 2015.
Oh, no. You can read the next comment
Next
from
comment?
Claude.
Right.
Yeah, just not the bold underneath
Yeah,
that person's
okay.
comment.
Oh, hell fucking no. It's not a hobby, it's a child, a living, breathing human being who has needs like a father. He can't treat the child like a puppy or a hobby. It'll be his kid. All of your objections are absolutely correct. They will have a relationship that you don't share in. There will be a degree of intimacy between them. He'll be financially bound to her. Hello, child support. This will absolutely involve you. Every single thing you two do will be tinged with his child. Every vacation, every holiday, hell, every weekend. Basically, he wants the little family unit with her and not with you for some reason. For me, just the fact that he entertained this notion would be grounds for, quote, we are going to therapy now, and if you ever so much as speak to this woman again, we are breaking up. If he argues, or worse, actually has sex with her or donates sperm, I'd be flinging divorce papers in his face an hour later. So we have an update 11 days later. Well, everyone was right. He was cheating. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. I called the girl behind his back and found out everything. She wasn't nice about it. It wasn't a fun conversation. Nothing else I can say except I'm out of here and divorce is happening. We dated 3 years, married 3 years, and I am a stupid idiot. I can't believe I didn't see it before. Makes me cringe to look at my post. How naive you could be.
I think the funny part is that they've already had a failed relationship. So even if he's not sad now, if he's not like, oh gosh, she's divorcing me, it's gonna come. Like, they're gonna get together. They're gonna be like, oh, this is why we don't like each other. That's why. And also, baby. So now whatever they didn't like about each other is now amplified. Another step. I'm sorry, if you're in a terrible relationship, a baby will never fix it.
I saw, so just not to disprove your point, but like I saw someone that they used to date somebody, and then they both kind of went off their separate ways. And then later in adulthood, like when they weren't young kids anymore, they came back and started dating again, and then they were together until he passed away. So like, it's not that it can't happen, but yeah, especially if you were kind of an adult and you dated, then most likely it's not gonna get any better. All right, so final comments. Don't beat yourself up, OP. When you love someone, you're inclined to see the best in them. That's why it's hard for virtually anyone inside a relationship to believe their partner could be cheating on them. Our mind wants to believe that our partners are fundamentally good people, so we tend to find ways to excuse behavior that seems suspect to an outsider. It's why it's always a good idea to talk to others when you have a gut feeling about something being wrong. In any event, I'm sorry for your loss. Hopefully you are working to move past this and will eventually open yourself up to loving and trusting someone again. Beef Charcuterie says, so, is she pregnant? Opie says, no, but apparently it wasn't for lack of trying. She was pretty up in my face about it. It was probably the worst conversation in my life. I can honestly say I've never, quote, seen red until she started laughing at me. Whatever they can have each other, fuck them.
That's a good way to view it. I might have to beat your ass after that.
Yeah, the laughing in my face part.
Yeah, that's
I probably will end up having to do something.
I mean, now I gotta fuck you up, and who knows? After getting laughed at, I might have to fuck both of them up. I don't know until I'm laughed at. You know, once I get laughed at, once you're making me the joke of this, like if my wife was having an affair, all right, and I confront the other guy about it, especially knowing that we were married, okay?
Yeah, the fact that
if he is
completely
not
aware,
anything but completely apologetic in the moment, somebody's getting their ass whooped. Like that is,
and it's not you.
well, I mean, I don't know. He could be a fucking badass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not gonna assume that I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm gonna be so enraged that I could, beat up anybody. But we're gonna try. We're definitely attempting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you, even if you beat my ass, you losing some cheek meat. If I bite them balls, they're gone. A thigh, it don't matter. Like I'm taking something with me. You will it's not like you beat my ass and you're like, I got to beat his ass. It's like, I beat his ass, but I'm missing part of my cheek. That's you live with that for life. Me getting my ass whooped, 2 weeks later, I'm cheeks intact. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what if he bit your cheek?
Whatever. He's still missing a cheek. His actions led to consequences. My actions led to consequences. I'm not, even though some people would see my actions as just, they led to consequences, and I'm okay with that. I have accountability. You know what I'm saying? That's cool.
Mike, what happened to your cheek?
He don't have that. Well, he beat my ass, bit my cheek meat off, and then I could do nothing. He was
balls.
Yeah, he was the greatest. I could not. If I tried to bite something, a fist was hitting me in the nose. I could not.
He did this thing with his hand. And I just couldn't.
He was somehow punching and stomping me at the same time. I couldn't get anything. I did reach my hand up in his short leg and tried to grab his dick for a moment, but it was already like greased up. My head slid down for what felt like 10 seconds. So I got nothing except for my ass whooped, my cheek meat bit off, and I found out the reason she was cheating on me. Guys, this has been an episode of Two Daddies Judging Baddies. Remember to like and share. Tell your friends about the podcast, okay? Not like it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm in YouTuber mode right now. But make sure you tell somebody about the podcast. Rate, follow the podcast if you're not doing it. Check us out on Patreon at Mike and Dylan, patreon.com/Mike and Dylan. If you want more of this, get some bonus episodes. And guys, we love you so much, and we will see you next time.
Later.